Do the usual radio memes, the typical topics, the Muslims, Brexit, Trump,
immigration.
I'm tempted to talk about Gibraltar, though. So forget everything I just said. I'm tempted to talk about Gibraltar, right? Because who gives a stuff about Gibraltar? Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Who gives a stuff about Gibraltar?
An ex-boyfriend of mine,
Okay.
Spanish Javier, was very vexed about it.
Well, what I mean, I don't know the history of it, right? So I'm coming to this as a complete numbskull, really. I don't know the history. I'm guessing, I mean, it's physically part of Spain, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a bit of Spain that juts out.
Yes, a little
and we
peninsula.
took it, in the 1700s, I'm guessing?
It's part of a treaty.
Okay.
So they gave it to us.
Okay, well, let's give it back. I don't see what the problem is. Don't get me started on Las Malvinas.
Oy.
Let's give Gibraltar back.
The thing is, it's about self-determination, and the people there don't want to go back.
Well, that's their problem. They should...
Well, call loose.
Yes, that's their problem. What are they doing on Gibraltar, the people that live there?
Well, they're being Gibraltarians.
So they're not British?
Well, they feel more British than Spanish.
Well, that's tough. It's physically part of Spain.
Well, so's Portugal, if you're going to put it like that.
Well...
And France are attached.
Well, no, now
So
you're just...
what are you going to do?
Now you're just being silly, and you're being facetious, and you're using actual facts.
Yeah.
I honestly because I've seen it bubbling away, and there's a big thing because the royals had dinner with the King of Spain, and there was some kind of talking going on behind the scenes, and about every 6 or 7 years, the Spaniards get a bit arsey and they do a roadblock on Gibraltar, and I just don't really understand. Just give it back to them. I don't get it. I don't get what okay, how many people live on there that are British?
Well, they're not. They're Gibraltarian.
Well, then
But
tough. Then tough. Then if they want to fight Spain, let them start an army. Let them. I'm being slightly flippant here, listener, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. But I just think Gibraltar. I mean, there's not going to be more than 5,000 people living there, are there? There won't be more than 5,000 people. That's a half-full Wembley Arena. Do we really care about a half-full Wembley Arena?
Let's check how many people live there.
No, let's ask. I've got a scientist on the line. Good evening, Alan.
Hip, 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 Jack.
How many people live on Gibraltar?
Oh, it's about a tenth of the population of Spain.
It's 32,217.
Okay, so half of Wembley Stadium then. Half of Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium holds about 60,000.
Does it?
I thought it was 70,000.
How many?
70,000 for Wembley Stadium.
Well, it's something like that. It's okay. Well, yeah. So it's about half. 32 times 2 is 64. It's about half of Wembley Stadium, right? So it's half of an audience for, I don't know, a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, right? Really? Do we care about half of an audience for a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, Alan? Do we?
No, because Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're not really my favourite band.
No, I don't think... Here's a great question, right? And I'm putting this to you, dear listener at home. You'll be lying in bed, you'll be driving home in your car, you'll be listening at work, okay?
Or on the app.
Or on the app, yes, exactly. Thank you, Alan. Are the Red Hot Chili Peppers your favourite band? I can't imagine anyone saying... Oh, you know my favourite band is? Go on, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I can imagine people saying, sort of, my third favourite band are the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, what's the top two?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask those people. But here's the point, Alan. I cannot imagine anybody saying out loud, my favourite band is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. With that annoying kind of sort of horrible funk rock nonsense. I mean, The Bridge is a good song, right? It's a great song.
The All Saints took it over.
Well, the All Saints did an even better version of it. I love the All Saints. I will not have a word said against those young ladies. They are
lovely.
They are Britain's premier talents. Alan, can I give you a top tip?
Go on.
Do you mind?
Sure.
Yeah, stop befriending female listeners to the show and sending them mucky messages. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm logged off Twitter.
Thank you very much indeed. Logging off, I think, is the problem. No one's going to say... This is what we'll do tonight. This is the phone-in tonight. Who's your third favourite band? 0344 499 1000. Because the third favourite band, I think, doesn't get the attention it deserves. I know my third favourite band is the Bare Naked Ladies. Put my hand up straight away. Number 3 in my chart of favourite bands is the Bare Naked Ladies. And that is a strong third band to have. But third favourite bands are often bands that other people think are a bit of a joke, or go, huh? What? Who's your third favourite band?
Crowded House.
Huh?
Yeah.
See, exactly.
I love them.
Isn't that funny? Sam, come on the microphone. Turn the microphone on. Who's your third favourite band? There's an exciting debut here.
A band called Dead by April.
Huh?
Okay.
You see what I mean? See, you can turn your microphone off now. That's it for a year. You see, I mean, the third favourite... This is what we're going to do. Tweet this out. Tweet. Start tweeting.
I'm doing it.
Tweet now. Go. Tonight's phone-in is... Who is your third favourite band? 0344 499 1000 and Gibraltar. Put hashtag Gibraltar, because that will get us more listeners. That's what we're talking about. But you can call us about anything you want. 0344 499 1000. You just heard Sam there, the newest member of the team. You'll get to speak to him. He'll take your name and number and give you a call straight back. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Dial up some dialogue.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking. Uber on Talk Radio. Work or not at the touch of a button. Uber.
Oh, fuck.
Where to?
My name's Calvin, I'm 26 years old. Before Uber, I did waitering jobs, I did events work, you name it, I was doing all kinds of things. Then led on to getting a consultancy business, and I also play football.
The CEO of every man's
business at times was up and down. Also, you have to juggle it with football, so you have to get your training in. You find yourself, you're working constantly, so it got a bit hectic. My uncle,
turn the light on, Ash, if you want, man.
He said to me,
the white light switches that will light up that area.
especially if you're time schedule. Being an Uber partner makes me feel privileged because it kind of opens your eyes to certain things. I'm able to have a flexible life. So you get more happiness, you get more time on your hands to do things that you enjoy doing. And it's made me more friendly.
Uber.
To you Latinas coladas,
Uber.
getting bombed in the rain.
Uber.com/driveuk to find out more.
The trials begin. Families at war. Battles for the throne. Until you can take no more.
No more?
Okay, one more.
With the Now TV Entertainment Pass, you can stream every new episode of Game of Thrones.
What the fuck?
Plus, you'll also get a 14-day
other one.
free trial.
That's it. Cheers.
Just search Now TV Game of Thrones.
See you later.
Your trial begin.
Exactly. Want to watch at mine? I've got crisps. Ooh. 18 plus, new customers only. Pass also renews at $7.99 a month unless cancelled.
I am Alfa Romeo, created by racing legends and innovated for a century with uncompromising Italian style and spirit. Test me now.
This July, test drive the Alfa Mito Giulietta.
Oh, no, I do actually,
Giulia, and
because I'd
receive
like to
an
say his
extra
policy's wrong.
£2,250 contribution in
Have I
addition
been a
to
bit
other
of a wanker?
promotions, but only till July
I feel like I've been a
31st.
bit of a
Contact your
wanker.
local
Throwing a
dealer
piss of it on
now or
Twitter.
search Alpha Test Me.
Offer on new Mito, Giulietta, 4C and Giulia, excluding Quadrifoglio. Ordered by 31st July and registered by 30th September 2017. 2250 includes VAT, excludes PCH.
I'll be
Retail
loved, I'll be
customers and
charged
participating
something.
dealers only. T's and C's apply.
Talk Radio.
We got entertainment, and we're not afraid to use it. Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Your third favourite band, please. My sister has tweeted her third favourite band is New Order. Huh? Here's the thing. I'm guessing tonight. It's just a theory. Okay. My theory is that whenever people tell us their third favourite band, we'll either laugh or go, huh? Here we go. I'll try. John has tweeted me his third favourite band. I'm going to say it to you, Catherine. John's third favourite band is Yes. Oh. There we go. You see, there's a third reaction. Oh. And Lee's third favourite band is Deacon Blue.
Oh.
Deacon Blue. 0344 499 1000. Two main topics tonight. Your third favourite band, please. And Gibraltar. Got some exciting news. Two bits of exciting news. We'll let's get through these calls, and then we'll give them the double whammy of exciting news.
Do I know the exciting news?
Well, yeah.
Am I in the exciting
You're in
news?
one of the exciting newses. The other one, I'm flying solo.
I'm excited
There
about
we
one
go.
of those. You can guess which.
Tony!
Ian, how are we doing?
Tony, we are doing very, very well, thank you, Anthony.
Of all the topics we could possibly discuss, the third favourite band is the most divisive I've heard from you at recent times.
It's a great one, isn't it? This is going to split families up.
Oh, it's going to lose friends. In
Yep.
the worst case scenario. Now, I agree. Third favourite band has got to be a controversial one.
Yeah.
The first and second have got to be serious.
Yeah.
The third is one that's got to be slightly provocative.
Yeah.
Someone may laugh at you. Now, okay, I'm going to fire this one at you. Iron Maiden.
Huh? I've been to an Iron Maiden concert, and it was, it was silly. Run to the hills, run for your life.
Can I ask you a question? Can you name me another band that can combine both history and myth in the majority of their songs as the main content of their music?
Yeah, I know. They're a strange band. Once I was in the theatre watching a very, very long play. It was so long it had 2 intervals in it. It had the BFG in it. What's the BFG's name? Mark Rylance, is it Mark Rylance?
Mark Rylance.
Sir Mark.
Good accent.
Sir Mark Rylance.
I don't know why he talks like that, because he's not from there.
He's playing the character of Sir Mark Rylance.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was in that. It was a good play, really good play, right? And but it was very long. And there was a sound effect of an... You're right. You having a drink there, Tone?
I was briefly having a glass of water.
Good for you. Good for you.
We had it go down.
It's the juice of life. And in this play, right, there is a sound effect of an aeroplane. And the bloke next to me leant over and said, well, that's a Boeing. And he said the model of the plane. I said, oh, do you recognise it from the sound? He said, yeah, I'm into planes. I thought, oh, right. And I looked again and I went, oh, it was Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer of Iron Maiden, who, of course...
owns that big bum.
What?
That big airship that looks like a bum.
He does, he flies aeroplanes.
Yes, it's called... what's the plane called he flies on? They did a documentary called Flight 666.
Yeah.
The play, I can't remember. Is it Eddie? Eddie, I think the
Eddie is the like the big skeleton that they have on stage, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, can you name me? I mean, Bruce Dickinson is an enigma. The man used to be a professional tennis coach.
Did he?
He's the leader of probably, arguably, the most the rock band of the 80s with the biggest cult following in history.
Yeah.
He's a qualified pilot.
Yeah.
This man is a genius.
And he was very, very polite when I was sat next to him. He didn't rustle his sweet packets or anything like that. He did lean over and tell me what the plane was.
Well, he's a little rock and roll.
Yeah, but it was.
Well, when you can write a song about the charge of the Light Brigade, and write a song about the oppression of the American indigenous American Indians, then you're on something.
Tony,
you're onto an original concept.
Tony, thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Paul. Paul.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Paul.
My name's Paul. I'm from Aylesbury, and my third favourite band are Belle and Sebastian.
and for me, Belle and Sebastian is the perfect third favourite band. A little bit fat, and I like Belle and Sebastian. I've seen them. I like them. I've interviewed a couple of them, but they're a little bit fey. There's a little bit. You don't really know anything about them. Don't know. You know. There's one of them called Stuart, and that's kind of it. That's a nice...
Quality of life, they absolutely hit the spot, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're great, but it's just like, no one's ever going to go, oh, my favourite band are Belle and Sebastian. I love...
Have you got a Belle and Sebastian T-shirt, Paul?
Now, you're saying Bell End.
No, I'm not.
You said Bell End, Sebastian.
No,
there. Yes, you did. You tried to sneak that one through.
That's outrageous.
You tried to sneak that one through.
You're the one that keeps saying it.
You said
Belle
Bell
and Sebastian.
Bell and Sebastian. That's what we're going to call them now.
Have you got a Belle and Sebastian T-shirt?
I'm not cool enough to rock any kind of rock band T-shirt, I'm afraid, so no.
No, but we'll all be at home wigging out to Dog on Wheels or Lazy Line Painter.
You're not wrong.
There we go, you see. Paul, thank you very much indeed. Cheers. There we go, third. Sorry?
I never said that.
You snuck it through. You snuck a bell end in.
If I'd have done that, I would have claimed it happily.
You snuck a bell. I don't want to say it in Jimmy Savile's voice. I don't know. This is the problem. Savile is my go-to voice.
Northern voice, especially if you're doing an impression of me.
Jimmy Savile's starting his car. No.
Stop it.
Who does that routine? That's Eddie Large, isn't it? Eddie Large.
Oh.
Well, it was a great routine he did. What was it? He did celebrities starting their cars on a cold morning. Eddie Large. It was so funny. What was he did Bruce Forsyth? What,
I
Oh, I hope you saw that
what it was.
on Periscope. Ridiculous. I think Eddie did it a little bit better. That is a great routine though. Celebrities starting their cars. That was everyone was wetting themselves with that. That was fun. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We are asking your third favourite band and who gives a damn about Gibraltar. Now, on to the good news. 2 bits of good news. First thing is, me and Kath, the Rabbit Hole, this little side project, What We Do, is going on tour. We're doing an actual tour. So far, we've only got 2 dates that are locked in, okay? And they are... Catherine?
I don't know. You know I'm terrible with dates.
Yeah, okay, right. So, well, we got July the 29th in Manchester,
yes.
Lunchtime show.
In Salford. Yeah.
In Salford. That's selling out fast. So if you want to get tickets, go to ticketsource.co.uk/Iain-Lee. Ticketsource.co.uk/Iain-Lee. It's the 29th of July. Then, on the Sunday, the 17th of December, our only London show this year at King's Place. And if you Google King's Place Rabbit Hole, your ticket 17th of September, our only London show this year. Then we are doing on Saturday the 14th of October. We are in. Sorry, am I keeping you up?
Bit, yeah.
Brighton, not Bournemouth as I thought. I was emailing totally the wrong place, but we're in Brighton. At the Brunswick, I think it's called. We'll find out there. And then on the 29th of October, we're in Hull. We're in Hull. Mm-hmm. We're in Hull. And then possibly the 3rd of December, we're in Luton. If you want to find out all of these dates, at Iain Lee. But stay tuned because at some point over the weekend, early next week, therabbithole.com, I think it is, or therabbitholeshow.com. Anyway, we've got a website.
A vague website.
A couple of blokes called Darren and Jack have built for us, and it is absolutely stunning. It's a stunning website. And when it goes live and we remember it, well, stop yawning.
Can't help it.
Well, if you're going to yawn, go out and yawn because it's making me yawn. And yawns are contagious. You know you can catch a yawn off a cat. And a cat can catch a yawn off you.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's great fun making my cat yawn. Oh, I love it. You got a cat, you got to lock eyes with her, and then you got to do a yawn. And here's the interesting thing: you can't do a fake yawn.
She knows.
It's got to be a real yawn, and she'll yawn. Think in your face, cat. Have some of that. It's brilliant. I love it. 0344 499 1000. That's the first bit of good news. Second bit of good news, as well as me doing Virgin Radio Sunday mornings from now on, 10 o'clock. This Saturday, it's a one-off, guys. It's a one-off. This Saturday evening, between 9 and 12 on Talk Radio, I'm doing the Sex and Relationship show. Dr. Pam isn't here, and I'm filling in Dr. Pam's slot.
Professor Perv.
Exactly. So, and Kath's not coming in. It's me.
No one's asked me.
Well, so I thought what we could do on Saturday night, 9 till 12, I thought we could do a couple of things. I'm more than happy to talk about sex and relationships, and we can get filthy, right? Because I've listened to Dr. Pam. I've also listened to the competition on the other side, and they talk about butt plugs, clitoris, fisting.
Stop it!
Honestly, they do. The show on Saturday night on the other place, I get embarrassed enough to turn it off. It is filth. lesbians, dildo, everything. It's incredible. So we can do that. But also I thought on Saturday between 9 and 12, and I'm warning you now, it's going to be call straight to air. I'm going to be too tired to do any prep. I'm not going to come in and read the newspapers like I normally would, like I have done here. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to flounce in off the street at 5 minutes to 9, coffee in hand. I don't know who's producing me, but they'll be in a state of panic as I walk in and go, good evening, walk straight into the studio, boom, and just get in just as that light turns red. Saturday night, 9 till 12, it is going to be Triple M, I used to call it in the old days. It's going to be 3 hours of calls straight to air. Anything goes. Now, the thing is, you need, dear listener, to spread the word, okay? These straight-to-air shows only work when people call in, okay, and when lots of people call in. So it's up to you. You know how crap this station is at marketing, right? You've got that, yeah? So the marketing is up to you. If you're in Facebook groups, if you're on Twitter, if you're using a public toilet and you've got a Sharpie nearby, spread the word. This Saturday evening between 9 and 12 on Talk Radio, we're going to do 3 hours of old school, what I used to call back in the day Triple M. I don't really remember why we called it that, but it's basically calls straight to air, and absolutely anything goes. Catherine, will you be listening?
Saturday night. Because normally I'm out on the razzle on a Saturday. Of course I'll be listening.
So, there was so little thought. This is how sad my life is. Boss sent me a text saying, are you free Saturday night to fill in for Dr. Pam? Straight away without thinking of it. Yeah, I will. Straight away. Saturday nights were never... Well, when I was 15, 16, 17, I guess they were a thing, but that thing soon passed quite quickly. And also, not having had a proper job for about over 20 years, society's hours have never really applied to me, so Saturday night...
Makes no difference.
That makes no difference, man. Right, onwards and upwards. Paul, stay there. Come to you in a second. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, her Catherine Boyle, on Talk Radio.
Did your husband accidentally transfer the contents of your joint account to a Nigerian prince called Trust Me Good Man? Perhaps you bought diet pills on the internet that made you frightened to cough. Or maybe your exotic mail-order bride turned out to be a Ukrainian pig farmer called Igor.
When the con is on, you need a man who's on it. Listen to the Radio Hustle with scam-busting supremo Alexis Conrad and get the inside track on all the latest swindles, schemes, tricks and traps the fraudsters are using to get their hands on your cash.
Get tipped off, not ripped off. The Radio Hustle with Alexis Conrad, enemy of the con man.
Saturday afternoon from 1 on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Paul.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I've had a strange evening, Paul, a very strange evening. I will reveal some of it shortly. I got a bit stressed earlier on.
Okay, well, notice I'm being quiet for a change and not interrupting.
Well, you didn't need to say that.
Okay.
But I got a bit stressed earlier on trying to book tickets for the cinema. But I'm being slightly reluctant to say exactly what happened, because I've just had an email saying the CEO of the company is going to call me tomorrow.
What, the company of the place you're booking tickets for the cinema for?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes, the CEO is going to call me tomorrow. So that's it instantly calmed me down ever so slightly. That's good customer service.
Are you going to the Gerrard's Cross cinema by any chance?
I'm not saying where or what the cinema is out of fairness to them.
Okay.
Anyway, Paul, what have you called in about?
Okay, my third favourite band.
Yes?
Okay, it's funny, I don't think you should really list
things in favourites.
Of course you should. Of course you should. It's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to do.
My third favourite band is Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Well, good for you. They're a cracking third band.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have that. Okay. I've never missed one of their London gigs ever.
Well, hang on a minute.
Yes, I'm agoraphobic, but I always make it to whenever.
Well, hang on a minute then. So if they're your third favourite band and you never miss one of their gigs, well, that must mean that there are two bands ahead of them who you also do not miss their gigs.
No, I don't. No, because there you go. That's not true. No.
They sound like your first favourite band.
Yeah. Okay, maybe they could be.
I did because the phone-in, Paul. With the greatest of respect, the phone-in isn't who. Now you're interrupting. The phone-in isn't who's your first favourite band.
No.
So phone-in is who is your third favourite band.
Yeah, okay, I would say they're my third.
Well, but you go to all of their London concerts.
I've been to every London concert,
right.
Yeah, but the other bands that are my two in front of them don't exist anymore.
Okay, well, give me the names of the two favourite bands.
The Beatles.
Right.
And the Beach Boys.
Right, okay. So the Beach Boys do exist.
Not really as a complete thing, do they?
Well, okay, so you went to see the Beach Boys earlier this year, did you?
At the Royal Festival. I've seen them at the Royal Festival Hall about 3 years ago.
Okay, so
it was just the...
so you didn't go to see your second favourite band earlier this year at the Royal Albert Hall.
No, because I couldn't make it.
But yet you go and see your third favourite band at every gig they do in London. I'm very confused with your priorities here, Paul.
Okay. So that'd be our MC, isn't it?
Thanks very much for calling, Paul.
Okay.
Let's go to John. Good evening, John.
Hello?
Hello, John?
Oh, yes, speaking.
Yes, I know.
Oh, Ian.
Yes, John?
Yes, I wanted to know your views on this Brexit nonsense.
What?
I wanted to know your views on Brexit. What do you actually think on Brexit?
Why?
Well, I mean, we should have people like yourselves in the media.
Why?
Well, we should have people like yourselves in the media giving their opinions.
Why?
Why?
Why? Why should people in the media give their opinions?
Well, I think it would be a good idea to air their opinions.
Why?
Well, so people can make their own minds up whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, but hang on a minute. So, you want people in the media to share their opinions on something so that other people can make up their own opinions. Well, hang on. Whose opinion do I listen to as a member of the media to make up my opinion? Or am I just an opinion setter?
No, you're not an opinion setter. I'm just saying, you should say, I think Brexit is a good thing because, or it's a bad thing because, what do you think? And in the media, you have a very strong position because you can reach a lot of people.
No.
Of course you can. You can reach a lot of people.
But why? Well, I mean, technically, yes. Realistically, tens of thousands. But I still don't understand why you want to hear my views on Brexit. What difference will that make? Won't make any difference to Brexit. I don't think there'll be many people going, well, Iain Lee thinks this, and that's the opposite of what I thought. But do you know what? Because I like that guy, I'm going to switch my opinion.
Well, no, if you create a good case, then people could switch their opinion.
But why should I?
Well, I'm not asking you to switch an opinion. I'm just asking...
No, but why should I make a good case?
Well, you're in the media...
Right, but again, that's irrelevant. Why should I make a good case for or against Brexit?
Well, you're in the media, so obviously the media is important in...
Well, so is Philip Schofield. Do you want Philip Schofield's opinion on Brexit?
Well, yeah, I'd be welcome to hear his opinion.
OK, what about Steve McFadden, who plays one of the Mitchell brothers? He's in the media. Do you want his opinion on Brexit?
I'm welcome to hear any opinion on Brexit.
Why are you so desperate to hear other people's opinions on Brexit? Are you struggling, John, to make up your opinion on it?
No, I'm not struggling at all.
But then, why do you need to hear other people's opinions? I think I know why.
Why is that?
Because, one of two reasons. One, if the person you're listening to puts forward an opinion you agree with, you feel warm and safe and comfortable because you are listening to someone who has a similar opinion to you. Secondly, if the person you are listening to in the media has a different opinion on Brexit, that allows you to feel a righteous anger.
Well, I don't have any righteous anger.
We all love righteous anger, where we feel that we are right and the other person is wrong. Everybody loves it. It's a human basic.
But I like to listen to other people's opinions.
But why mine? Why mine? You don't want to know my opinion on Brexit.
Well, I think...
I don't want to know yours.
No, I think you're a good presenter. I think you do a good show.
Yes.
And I'd just like to know your opinion on Brexit.
What difference would that make in our relationship?
Well, probably not a hell of a lot, but I would just like to know where you stand on Brexit, that's all.
But why? Here's the point I'm trying to get to, John. Why do you, John in Limehouse, want to hear Iain from Windsor's opinion on Brexit? What difference will it make to your life?
Well, it won't make any difference to my life.
No.
Of course it won't.
So you're nosy?
Well, no, I'm just interested, that's all. That's all it is. I'm interested to know what your opinion is, that's all. I'm not nosy.
No.
I'm not trying to be picky or anything like that. I'd just like to know. That's all.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Not a problem. That's okay. I love your show, by the way. I think you're great.
Thank you, John.
I really do.
You're a good sport. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. That was a nice call. I enjoyed that. I hope John enjoyed that. He's a good sport. Thank you, John. But it's interesting, isn't it? Why... I'm getting old. I felt bad at the end of that. I'm getting old.
It's because he ended it politely, rather.
No, it's just because he was... even I felt I was haranguing him a little bit. But I'm genuinely... I'm getting old. Like, I've developed a conscience. This will never work in this line of business. A conscience of a phone-in radio host. No. I'm supposed to point the finger and laugh at people. That's what I'm supposed to do. But it's funny, isn't it? I don't... It's like... First time I discovered that one of my friends at school smoked. I remember going out, and he brought out a packet of fags. And he went, "Do you want one?" I went, "No." And I felt really disappointed that he smoked. I thought, oh, Malcolm smokes. And I felt a little bit different about him. And that would be the same. Imagine, I mean, I don't really look up to anybody in the media. Okay, imagine if imagine if Paul McCartney, right, who I've got a lot of time for, came on the radio and went, I think personally that Donald Trump getting in is really great news for America and so. I think, oh, I don't like that, but I still like Paul McCartney records. I don't know why it's important to know celebrities or someone in the media's opinion on stuff.
I wish people would stop asking Morrissey things.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's the part of the problem with people is a lot of people won't make up their own opinions until they've heard people they admire's opinions. Now, it can be a radio presenter, it can be a columnist, it can be, a gobshite on Twitter, it can be someone who does YouTube videos in their mum's spare room with a map stuck on the wall. It can be any number of people, but a lot of people won't quite know where to sit on some issues until they have heard the person they look up to tell you what they think and what you should probably think. And, I don't know. Thank you for that, John. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I used to work in a call centre. Every weekend, instead of being with my man, lost in conversation, I was with customers who'd lost their internet connection. But now I drive with Uber. So I only work weekends when I feel like it.
Oh, the football's on this weekend.
Like this weekend.
Work or not, at the touch of a button. Find out more at uber.com/driveuk. Uber. Where to?
This August, Macmillan Cancer Support needs you to brave the shade and help raise money for men, women and children with cancer.
I'm braving the shade for my mum to let her know I'm here for her.
I'm shaving my head to support people facing cancer. I'm braving the shave in memory of my grandma. I think she'd be proud of me.
I'm shaving my head to support my brother.
Whatever your reason for braving the shade this summer, you'll be doing something truly amazing to support people affected by cancer. So go on, sign up today at bravetheshade.org.uk or search Brave the Shade.
Hi, I'm here to trade in my trainers.
Trade in your trainers?
Yeah, they're really old. Didn't buy them here. Seen better days, to be honest. I wouldn't get too close. I want to put them towards some lovely new ones.
Sorry, sir, we don't do that.
Really? Vauxhall do? I just got £2,000 for my old banger to put towards a brand new car.
Yes, you can afford a new car. Scrap your old car, and on top of our other great offers, we'll give you £2,000 scrappage to put towards a shiny new Vauxhall. Visit your local retailer or search Vauxhall Scrappage for more information. Trading car registered in your name for at least 90 days. Offer available to individuals and small businesses. UK supplied vehicles only. Exclusions apply. Limited time at participating retailers. Full T's and C's apply.
The Unexplained, Sunday night from 10 on Talk Radio.
Have you ever wondered whether the internet really does have a future? Or whether hackers and scammers will bring it to its knees? Have you ever wondered whether one of these days we'll have a human colony on Mars? And have you ever wondered whether one of these days soon a robot will take your job? The man with all the answers is one of the world's most famous scientists, Dr. Michio Kaku, and he's exclusively on The Unexplained with me, HAL 9000, the all-new Alan Hughes radio bot.
The Unexplained, Sunday night from 10, Earth Time, on Talk Radio.
Now I wonder if that gorgeous vacuum cleaner will let me buy them a drink.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Stay there, Galen. I am going to say what happened before the show, but I'm going to couch this story, and I'm not going to name the chain, although if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know. But I am going to start the story by saying that just before the show, I had a really, really good response from them on Twitter. And I've had a couple of really, really apologetic emails from the company involved. And tomorrow morning, the CEO is going to phone me up. So that is a result. I always feel slightly, is it just because I'm on the, I did play that I'm going to be on the radio soon card. And I do wonder if a normal person, and I use that phrase decidedly, I will explain why in a minute, if a normal person would get the same response. I suspect not. And I'll be honest now, I feel a little bit silly about what happened. But I was upset. You saw me, I was upset.
So if it had happened to me,
yeah,
would you think I was silly for complaining about it?
Let's say what happened, right? So I've got the boys tomorrow, and we're going to go and see my mum. And those of you who listen will know that my mum is poorly and is in a wheelchair. Galen, I will come to you in a minute, I promise. And I just saw that a cinema was showing the new Spider-Man film. And I thought, I'll take the boys, but do you know what? Mum will probably enjoy a bit of mindless Marvel action, and she doesn't get out very often.
Change of scene?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, OK, well, let me see. So I looked online, and this cinema's got 2 screens, OK? It's not a big multiplex, one of these nice kind of boutique cinemas, and I like that. I like paying a little bit more to get a bit of an experience, and I'm a big fan of that. And there's loads of these sort of small independent cinemas or smaller chains, The Odeons and the Views and all of that, they're great as well,
But you like the ones with, like, the coffee shops?
Yeah, I do. I'm a sucker for that. I don't mind paying a bill. But this cinema's got 2 screens. Only one of the screens has got space for wheelchairs, and it's only got space for 2 wheelchairs. Okay, so you're kind of, so what it is, it's just basically a chair is removed and you put the wheelchair in. And as luck would have it, the screen that was showing Spider-Man was in the screen that had the wheelchair thing. So you can't book it online. I found out you could, but it's not made particularly clear. So that's not great. But you can book it online. But so I phoned up. And I said, I'd like to book 4 tickets, please, for Spider-Man and tomorrow afternoon, this cinema. One of them, so it's 2 children, 2 adults, one of the adults is in a wheelchair. And the guy said, OK, we'll just have a look. Right, OK, we can put the wheelchair in the one of the spaces, those are free, but the sofa next to the wheelchair is taken up. So what we can do is we can put the wheelchair in the back row, and then the three of you can sit in the row in front. And I went, I said to him, can I think about that for a minute? And I put the phone away, and I think I might have sworn, Catherine, to you. And I'm ashamed to say, I considered it for about a minute. Mum sat at the back. Now, bearing in mind, Mum, you know, she kind of needs a bit of attention, and quite often she'll fall forward in her seat. So she needs someone to kind of just go, you're right. You know, sometimes she needs the blanks filled in a bit as well as to who is who and stuff like that. It's kind of an interactive experience taking Mum out to see a show or something. And so I went back and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But I cannot believe that you have your system allows the seats next to the wheelchair seats to be booked by people who aren't with a wheelchair. He said, well, I'm really sorry, sir, but those seats have been booked by some normal people. And I missed that to start with. And I started saying something else, and I went, sorry, hang on. Did you say some normal people? And this guy, fair play to him, he instantly went, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. And he kept very calm. I didn't mean to cause offence, sir. I just meant they were booked by, and I said, some normal people. He said, no, I didn't mean to cause offence. What I meant was, well, no, what you meant was, I know what you meant, but you said normal people, the implication being that my mum in a wheelchair is not a normal person. And I know what you meant, but you're really lucky that you're saying this to me, not someone who is perhaps a bit more militant about language.
Or someone who is in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And I said, I'm not going to book the 3 tickets, but I would like to make a complaint. I'd like to complain about 2 things, please. He said, how? He said, well, there's 2 ways to complain. You can report the complaint to me, or you can email. I said, I'll do both. He said, OK, what's the first complaint? I said, I think that it is unacceptable that you would sell the tickets for able-bodied people, that you sell those seats that are next to the wheelchair spaces when they're not sat with people who have wheelchairs. I can understand that, you know, if the cinema is sold out and you've only got those 2 seats left and no one has booked the wheelchair seats, OK, fine.
This is the thing. We looked at the screen map.
Oh.
And
it was kind of empty.
Empty in the middle.
And I said that, and he said, OK, what's the second thing you want to complain about? And I said this. I remember I called him Man. I said, man, I feel really bad doing this, but I want to complain about you saying normal people. And he said, I'm really sorry. I said, I know you're sorry, and I don't want to get you into trouble, but I have to complain about it because that is an unacceptable thing. And I was really calm. I was on my bestest behaviour. And I think I may have even chuckled a bit because it was so ridiculous. I said, but man, you cannot say that, you know, and that could really upset someone. I'm upset a bit, but that could really upset someone. If my mum had heard that, that would have, you know, to be considered not. And I know what he meant. So we took the complaint, and I emailed the complaint, and then I had then I had a hissy fit on Twitter, and was atting this cinema, and fair play, and people piled in as people do on Twitter, and now I feel a bit embarrassed about the whole thing. And they replied eventually, just before the show started, and I've had lovely apologetic email, and I'm going to speak to the CEO tomorrow morning at 11:30. But now I feel a bit silly.
OK,
Go.
You shouldn't.
No, you're right.
Because it might mean, hopefully it will mean, it doesn't ever happen to anyone again.
Yep.
Right? They changed the policy, which is a stupid policy, and
Yep.
it needs flagging up. And, you know, sometimes these things aren't apparent to people if they're not the person who is pushing someone around in a wheelchair or accompanying someone in a wheelchair. You know, say you're going out with your wife and she's in a wheelchair. What, you're supposed to sit behind? You're not supposed to sit together. It's ridiculous. So they need to know this stuff. And you know what? You could have been talking about your kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who are growing up disabled, and they are normal, and they need to feel like everyone else sees them that way. So take yourself out of this, because I know you don't like being in the middle of a story. But if it happened to your mate, you would say fair play, and it should be flagged up.
And we did look at the seating plan on the cinema, and it is literally those 2 seats, a sofa. That sofa is next to the wheelchairs, and there's hardly any other taken up. And you did say, well, You could always go along and ask that couple, book the seats next to it and ask that couple to move. And yeah, you could do, but that shouldn't be my responsibility. There might be a chance that they don't want to for whatever reason. But then there was another weird kink. I couldn't have had, because there'll be 3 able-bodied people, and it's 2 sofas next to the wheelchair. And I tried to book 3 people sitting on 2 sofas.
Yes, you put the boys on a sofa together and you'd sit.
And the computer said, you can't do that. You can't book half a sofa. So this is another thing I'll say to the CEO tomorrow. I say you can't. You should
highlight them.
Yeah, you should have single seats next to it, or basically your whole system's screwed. Because even if I wanted the 4 of us to sit in a row, because we just couldn't do it.
But you know what? If I had a business, if that was my business, I would want to know.
Yes.
Because I'm sure it's not been done out of anything other than not being fully aware of the practicalities.
Can I just say, I've got a feeling tomorrow night we're going to name the company and say good things about them. Yeah. Because I've just had another email from this guy where I've just said, look, you've been really generous with the emails, and I've calmed down and I feel a little bit silly, but I do feel I have to get these points across. And he's replied, you're not being silly, we stand by your points. You should stand by your points, and we're appreciative that you're willing to talk to us. So in terms of mopping up, and this is the great scheme of things, it's not a bloke being dragged off a plane and having his face smashed in, but in terms of their willingness to engage, 10 out of 10 so far. So I've got a feeling tomorrow night I'm going to come on and say, do you know what, this company, and I know I've mentioned it on Twitter, but a significant number of our listeners don't follow me on Twitter. I've got a feeling we will come on tomorrow and say, well done, guys. You've played an absolute.
Choose discomfort over resentment.
There we go. Let's go to Gay. Oh, it's Galen.
Hello. How are you eventually?
I'm all right, Galen. How are you? Systematically.
Well, I'm all right as well. I have stories to tell about that, actually, because I worked with people with learning difficulties 20 years ago, actually. I do know the situations which I never treat anybody different in life. I don't care where they're from.
Yep.
Whatever. All equally, So I've seen it a hell of a lot myself. There's a better film out as well, I think. The new Planet of the Apes might be better.
Oh, I don't know. I've got a feeling that might be a bit scary for my kids. Because they're 7 and 5, I think.
Possibly, probably.
But here's the thing: I've not enjoyed any of the other Planet of the Apes films. I thought they've all been a bit silly.
Well, in some ways, I think the new one is to do with the one which Dudar did. What's his name?
Charlton Heston.
6'3". Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlton Heston.
Okay. Yes.
I think it's the sort of I don't know. And there is a friend of mine who's a lot older than me.
Yes.
I'm a few years older than you, actually.
Yes.
But
I feel like I'm aging in this phone call.
What's that?
Hello. So what did you call in for tonight, Galen?
Well, just musicality.
Who is your third favourite band?
Oh, I couldn't say that.
Well, what do you mean you couldn't say that? Who is your Galen? Who is your favourite band?
No, I couldn't say.
Oh, come on, mate. Come on, you flip-flopping around. You're like a fish on the deck of a boat, just flapping everywhere. Come on, grow a backbone. Who's your favourite band?
But I love blues, jazz, trad, and stuff I write myself. So
give us your favourite band, Galen.
Sorry?
I'll give you my favourite band. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Well, I don't know. Top 3 I'd stick up there. I wouldn't even stick Tom Waits up there, actually.
Tom Waits. I've got to stop. Sorry. And I've got to be specific. I'm not talking about solo artists. I'm talking about bands.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Apart from that, then, Nirvana.
Number 1?
No, these aren't.
You've got to put a number. You've got.
I'd stick the band up there, actually.
The band with Robbie Robertson, number 2.
Yeah.
So number one, Nirvana. We're doing it. Number one is Nirvana. Number two is Robbie Robertson and the band. Who's your third favourite band?
Not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know. As far as favourite singers go.
No, I don't want to know your favourite singer. I don't want to. Cass, you talk to him. I can't talk to him. You talk to him.
Galen.
Yep.
Who's your favourite band?
I know. I'm off a board, and I'm terrible.
Go on. Tell us your favourite band. You know.
Well, no, but I can't. I just can't stick them down. I just can't.
If you had to choose a band to be in.
Well, that's pushing it. That's a long question. I'm not going to mention the Stones anyway.
And can we get a clip of that? Do your thinking noise again, please, Galen.
Whatever.
Okay, thank you very much. Galen there auditioning for Four Weddings and a Funeral. Well, it's just one thing if you'd like to go out on a David Cassidy with me. That's Four Weddings and a Funeral, isn't it? Isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Can we get a clip of that during the news? That's going to be my hotkey. That's our thinking sound. Galen's thinking sound. Oh, I'm having fun tonight. By the way, I can see on Twitter and on the text we're getting loads of new listeners because there's somebody sitting in on the other place. I love it. I love it when somebody else sits in at the other place because it means we've got a chance to grab people over here. So we've got Puzzle and the screen's gone so I can't see, but we've got loads and loads of new people listening. Trust me, guys, this is a phone-in radio show like what you haven't heard since the late 90s. Anything goes. 0344 499 1000. Tonight we're talking about your third favourite band. We're talking about cinemas and we're kind of talking about Gibraltar, although no one's been able to sell it to me. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
Nick Abbott.
Join
and
the
loads of people
Nation.
saying I'm listening to this rubbish. That's going to talk. Nick Abbott.
We'll get you talking.
I believe Dylan and Pepper are watching
Summer
this.
value for your garden. Save
It is.
£40 on this Sovereign 40cm self-propelled petrol lawnmower.
Because they're used to listening to someone right wing.
Home base. Always low prices.
Typical. You fall out of bed extra early to beat the traffic, just for everyone to have the same idea. Decision time.
Hello,
You can either
Dylan. Hello,
brave the caution
Pepper.
of red lights, or take the next left and fill up on a sausage and egg McMuffin from McDonald's.
With over 800 restaurants open at 5 a.m. McDonald's, we make breakfast. Served until 10:30 a.m.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade-quality building products. In July, we've got a 10-litre tub of white Dulux Trade Supermat for only $26.95 ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. To find more real deals and your nearest branch, go to selcobw.com.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A radio star is born.
You're going to love
Talk Radio. Talk Radio.
Ah, dear listener, it's a busy, busy night. 0344 499 1000. And don't worry, I'm going to say to the boss as well tomorrow, final word on this, I don't want that bloke to get in trouble. That's not the point of it. I don't want him to get told off and get into trouble, but maybe just, This is Talk Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at 11, Donald Trump has suggested he could change his position on pulling the USA out of the international Paris climate change deal. The US president says something could happen after he faced criticism for recently announcing he'd be withdrawing. Mr. Trump is in Paris for talks with French President Emmanuel Macron.
On climate, here we know what our disagreements are. We have expressed them on a number of occasions, but I think it is important that we can continue to talk about it. I very much respect the decision taken by President Trump.
The two leaders have also agreed to work on a peace plan for Syria. An American doctor giving evidence in the Charlie Gard court case says there's been new data in the last 3 months on an experimental treatment. 11-month-old Charlie's parents are due back in court tomorrow, trying to get permission to take him to the US to be treated. An aristocrat who offered money on Facebook for someone to kill Brexit campaigner Gina Miller has been jailed for 12 weeks. Rodri Phillips, the 4th Viscount St David's, called her a troublesome first-generation immigrant. Life expectancy in England has reached 79.5 years for men and just over 83 years for women. But Public Health England says we're now spending a larger proportion of our lives in poor health due to excess weight and high sugar intake. On to sport, and Johanna Konta's Wimbledon dream is over. She's been knocked out in the semi-finals by five-time champion Venus Williams, 6-4, 6-2. Konta struggled to put into words what the support she's had from the crowds means to her.
Well, well, I guess it's just incredibly humbling. It's something that is greater than me and obviously just my focus on my match and my performance.
Andy Murray's conqueror Sam Querrey faces Marin Cilic in the men's semis tomorrow. Roger Federer then continues his bid for an 8th title. He faces Thomas Burdick in the last 4. That's the latest. I'm Simon English.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but I know it won't be long. We're almost there, we paid our fare with a hobo song.
It's on both.
Tomorrow, I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style.
Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home, 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 home. You know I'm free to roam. But yes, I will say to the gentleman, I don't want that young lad to get into trouble because you know I knew what he meant, but I just you can't say that.
No,
I will say.
I don't think you'll forget that phone call.
Oh, 344. Let's hang on a minute. You.
You're right. What's the matter?
I want to get. It just feels a little bit flat, so I want to play some music behind so that people think it's actually fun. A better show than it is. We've got all these listeners from the other place, defectors, because they're used to listening. Colonel Dodge Pop McDougal.
All right. They've come to the right place. I mean, for that kind of stuff.
Steady on, mate. Let's get some appropriate music. Here we go. Let's play.
Woke up quick.
No. No. Hey.
Come on, Ian.
Hang on. No. Let's try. Whoa! Steady on, MC5. Flipping heck, that's outrageous. Here we go. Look at that. That's it. Oh dear, the MC5 gave me a blooming heart attack. They were going to say, kick out the jams, mother flumpers. That's what they were going to say. Very busy show this evening, dear listener. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee. What's your name?
Catherine.
Well done. Sam is through there. He's the young gentleman answering the telephones. It works like this. We sit here and we talk about stuff. We'll go through the papers in a bit. We'll see what's happening in the world. We'll also tell you what's been going on in our lives.
You are welcome at any point to pick up the phone and talk about any of the things that we have spoken about on air, or if you think there is something more important that we have completely missed, and by important it can be, nuclear war, or it can be the fact that you stubbed your toe this morning.
I don't think we've missed nuclear war, but
how
would we know?
Well, hang on a minute. Korea is testing intercontinental ballistic missiles. So, and Trump has said, we're going to fight those guys with very, very strong men, or something, whatever
he
said.
said, she's in great shape,
yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well, she's a fit lady, and he's just commenting on that. Like,
it's his job, isn't it?
You girls don't like compliments. But what I'm saying is, you can phone in about anything. Be prepared to be challenged. This isn't, again, we got people from the other side who are used to, the people spout their views and then they get cut off and they go, well, that's a great call, thanks very much, and move on. You'll be challenged. Like John, who wanted to know what my views were on Brexit. He didn't want to know, really.
He wanted to tell you his.
Yeah. Oh, but was that it?
Yeah.
I didn't want to know what his were.
Well, no,
03. The way this works, dead simple. It's a really cheap number. For most of you, it'll be free because it'll be included in your packages. This is the phone number, right? 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000. You phone up, you speak to Sam, who's it's day 3 or 4 for Sam, and he's admirable so far. I would give him 7 out of 30, which is a great score. You know I'm a harsh scorer. And he'll take your name and number, and he will call you back. Okay, so and then you come on 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Terry. Good evening, Terry.
Hello, Ian. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Terry. What you got for us?
It's completely unrelated to what you're speaking about.
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's just it's like kind of a thought.
Okay, let's hear your...
Something I just want to,
Is it a brain fart?
No, it's just like, I think, you're allowed to kind of come on here and just kind of come up with things, aren't you?
Is this Bob Mortimer? Because I read somewhere, right, this is true. I read somewhere that Bob Mortimer's been calling this show.
What?
This is what I read. I read it somewhere.
As if that would happen.
No, honestly, I read it. Bob Mortimer, right? And I know Bob Mortimer a little bit. So I sent him a text and said, Bob, I'm reading on this thing. You've been phoning my show, have you? And he replied, no, of course not. I'd tell you.
Busy man.
I'd tell you if I was. I was like, all right. But now I'm wondering if he's now phoning up as Terry.
Terry. He would, wouldn't he?
Terry?
He likes the name Terry.
Huh?
All right, Bob.
Are you Bob Mortimer?
No, I wish I was. No.
Can we call you Bob?
Yeah, you can call me Bob. Yeah.
All right, Bob, what you got? Can we change the name on the screen, Sam, to Bob? Thank you.
Mortimer.
To Bob Mortimer.
Yeah,
Bob,
yeah.
Bob, what you got for us?
Right, this is weird, but... Right. Remember years ago when you used to get those, things on the TV, about police chases and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, lights, camera, police and stuff like that. Stop.
Yeah, stuff like that. Police stop or something like that.
Yeah. They still show it.
Yeah. But I was watching one today, and it was from 1991. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
And I was looking at it, and all the cars are square. Do you know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And but now all the cars are kind of rounded.
Yeah,
bubbly, you know?
like jelly moulds.
Yeah.
You're right. He's right.
He's absolutely spot on. If you see footage from the 90s as well, it's very smoky.
And also, it's quite 80s.
Yeah, the 90s look like the 80s.
We thought we'd moved on.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say the 90s look like the 80s did in the 90s.
Are you sure, by the way, this is a great title for tonight's podcast, The 90s Look Like the 80s. Are you sure it was from the 90s?
Yeah, because obviously you get the timestamp on the video, don't you?
Oh, yeah, well done. All right, detective, all right, Kojak. Yeah, the 90s look like the 80s, and people's hair and fashion, it looks incredible. Because I don't know how old you are, Bob, right, but when I think of, 1994, my first thought is, oh, that wasn't that long ago. And then I do the maths, and it's 23 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of a century.
Yeah. But when you see that footage, you don't realise the difference until you see it and you go, that looks like what the 80s looked like when I was in the 90s.
And the 80s look quite like the 70s.
Yeah.
It's a mixed up, muddled up, shook up world that got my Lola, Bob.
That was my contribution, anyhow.
Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate it. And that is it. You can call in about absolutely anything you want. I enjoyed that. Good call, Bob. Thank you, mate. Let's go to Andrew. Good evening, Andrew.
Hi, Ian. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Andrew.
I'm glad to hear it. We were kind of interacting a little bit on Twitter this evening, and...
Oh, this is Andrew!
Yeah, I was sort of saying that... I know we first sort of got in touch when you told the first story about your mum and
yes,
trying to help out and stuff.
Yeah, that all got sorted. Perhaps I didn't. That all got sorted in the end.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear it. Although maybe things aren't as great as they could be, given your story this evening. But...
Yeah, it was a real disappointment, and I am aware. I think more than the average person, because of my dealings that I've had to do with Mum and in terms of taking her places and getting her into places and stuff. I am kind of aware just how difficult it can be for people with different kinds of disabilities and different kinds of abilities, how difficult it can be for them to enjoy things that perhaps able-bodied people take for granted, like going to the pictures.
You can't just do something, you have to plan it all out.
And then I had an email from, a message from Dredge, and Dredge said, can people in wheelchairs go on the underground? I suppose they can't. And they can't. There's a handful of stations that have got lifts. There's literally, it was about 6 last time I checked. It's probably more now that have got lifts, okay? But most of them haven't got lifts, so you can't get down those escalators. And also, they can't mind the gap. If there is a gap between the train and the platform, then a wheelchair cannot go over. Just think, when did you ever see a wheelchair on the underground? Never.
It's true. A friend of mine said that he uses a wheelchair. He was first able to travel during the 2012 Olympics, but then as soon as that was over, they removed all the accessibility to him.
Did they really? Oh, no! Yeah, oh, no, once the eyes of the world. And I'm lucky. I don't bring my mum into central London. I don't really do it much now anyway, because she's even worse than she was. But I'm lucky that when I have brought her into central London, I've always been able to go in the car, and she has a blue badge, so we can generally find some parking on a street somewhere near the venue that we're going to, because it's normally for a meal or to see a play or something like that. And I've got to, here we go, because we're knocking stuff. Nearly every West End theatre every West End theatre that I have been to with my mum, and bearing in mind these are really old buildings that were not designed for people in wheelchairs, right?
I'll tell you a story about theatre in a minute.
Oh, no, please do. But I just want to say my experience, and I've taken her about half a dozen times to West End theatres. Those people could not be more attentive to my mum, and then secondly to me. That they come and they generally you have to go in through a really grubby side entrance, which they apologise about, but they move everyone out of the way. They get you in. I remember once one theatre we went to see the Four Seasons Jersey Boys, and the wheelchair seats were in a box. We got a box, and as a carer, I got half-price tickets. And during the interval, a young lady came in and said, well, now, can we get you any drinks or refresh? It was wonderful. So go on, give us your story, Andrew.
Well, I was just wondering, if you'll forgive me, just start by saying I'm autistic, and it took me quite a lot of anxiety to sort of work up to making this call, but I'd like to sort of say thank you to a few people on Twitter that encouraged me to make it. So
I saw you saying that, and I wasn't going to be one of those people that said, "Come on, Andrew, you can do it," because I didn't want to put any undue pressure. But I just have to say, we get people. We have Jerry who phones up a lot with Parkinson's. We get people with speech impediments and stammers and all kinds of things. Everybody is welcome here, whatever, because I know that if my mum phoned up, some people would find it hard for her to understand her. So everybody is welcome on this show. We've got 3 hours, and if it takes 3 hours to work out what someone is saying, we'll do it. We will do it, Andrew, because I want everyone to feel that, Jerry, for example, I've got such a soft spot for Jerry, such a great call. I mean, he's an idiot sometimes, but I know that he gets turned away from other shows on other stations and other shows on this station, and again, that's discrimination. You know, we're lucky that we've got the time and the space to allow people to... I mean, if he's talking rubbish, I'll cut him off. You know, he's not getting special treatment, but... Anyway, I'm glad you called in, Andrew, so go on.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I guess the thing for me was that... I'll tell you the theatre story in a second, but I guess the thing for me was that accessibility, just, you know, it isn't just about physical accessibility, as you sort of seen with your mum. It's that people think if they put a ramp in, they've done their job.
Yeah, yes.
But there's so much more than that. You know, the wheelchair space might be, I don't know, the one that's right near the screen, and they forget that person has to crick their neck the whole time just to watch it.
Yeah.
Or as you found out, it might be that they sell the seats next to it for the person... The person who's the carer or the family member, and it goes well beyond just putting a ramp in. And then I suppose there's that thing about the fact, you know, I'm sure the guy that said the words normal people would be devastated at what he said. But it's that kind of easy, casual use of language that kind of belies and betrays a way of thinking that's still out there, that disabled people are somehow different. You know, I like this phrase, that I'm different, not less. You know?
And I did feel sorry for the lad, and I'm gonna, you know, I've learned that the cinema chain outsource the box office to an external company. And I'm going to make a point of saying, look, you know, and Kath was there with me, and I laughed when he said it. I laughed, and I didn't get angry, and I didn't. You know, it would have been very easy to kind of rise up and shout at him, and you shouldn't bloody say that. I kind of laughed and went, man, you cannot say that, and you're kind of lucky you're saying it to me, you know, because I'm offended, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, and I'm not gonna go to bed crying. But someone else might.
Training, not punishment, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Training and understanding.
Training, yeah. You're absolutely right. That's what it is about. And I, you know, I
mean, arguably, it's not fair putting him in that position.
Yeah.
Putting him on the phones, dealing with that sort of stuff, if he's not equipped
no, indeed.
to, you know.
Yeah. But I'll tell you the theatre story.
Yeah, go on.
I sort of, I'm self-employed, but I earn my living from giving disability training, not just in autism, but sort of general stuff, which is what I offered to help you with your mum and that sort of thing.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Contacts in that area, which is still there, might help if in the future.
Thank you,
things that you saw. But I remember years and years ago working with a learning disabled man who had no physical impairments at all. There was no sort of physical access issues for him, but he still needed someone to go with him. And it was to a theatre. And the law has always been very clear on physical accessibility. They have to provide a ramp, they have to provide this, that and the other. But it's always been a bit woolly when it comes to learning disability and things like that. Where just someone, you know, maybe it's an intellectual impairment, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I used to sort of wing it and pretend I knew the law and pretend, you know, hope the guy on the other end of the phone didn't really know it. And I'd say, well, so of course this guy will be coming, he'll be bringing a support worker, and of course that support worker will get him for free, won't they?
Yeah.
And the theatre guy said, well, actually, I'm sorry, sir, we don't offer free tickets. So I sort of pretended that the law said different and tried to wing it a bit. And this went on for about 20 minutes. Sorry, sir, we just don't give free tickets. So I'll have a word with the manager. After 20 minutes of this back and forth, he went back and came back and said, well, I've had a word with the manager, and we don't give free tickets. So what we will do is we'll sell you 2 tickets at half price. Just me or...
Oh, that's delicious. That's brilliant. What a great way of saving
they really
face.
Couldn't see.
Well, it is. They're not giving you a free... You're not getting a free ticket, but that's a lovely way of saving face. I kind of respect that.
Wasn't that great?
It is.
It took about 20 minutes to get there, but, you know, there we go.
Oh, well, Andrew, how does the first phone call feel?
Well, I'm sort of shaking a bit.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, I guess.
Yeah, but you did it, man.
Autism, and thank you so much.
Well, I know you say it's your autism, and your autism may be accentuating it, but I also think that a lot of other callers who don't have autism, the shaking is quite a common thing. When I phoned up radio station, I texted a radio station last night. That was very naughty, and they read it out, and it was ridiculous. But I've phoned up radio stations, and I get the shakes, so that's quite common.
Me too.
But I'm glad you called, Andrew, and I hope we get to speak again, mate.
Well, it's nice to talk to you. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you very much. Tatty bye. Bye-bye. What's a nice man? 0344 499 1000. Dom, Lindsay, Cleo, stay there. Come to you after this.
Talk radio. Listen. Phone. Talk.
Talk radio.
We'll get you talking.
All of human history has led to this moment. And if we lose, it will be a planet of apes.
Critics agree War for the Planet of the Apes completes the best blockbuster trilogy since the Dark Knight films.
We will bring an end to their kind.
It's edge-of-the-seat stuff, says The Guardian.
So emotional!
Impressive, says Empire.
This is war.
The Telegraph calls it a soulful, mesmerizing spectacle.
I did not start this war, but I will finish it. Apes together, strong.
War for the Planet of the Apes. In cinemas now.
It's lights out, and away we go. That emergency plumbing job is no match for Nigel and his Renault Traffic van. It's his best performance yet. Renault Pro Plus vans are trusted as the logistics partner to the Renault Sport Formula One team, delivering vital components day in, day out. See how the award-winning Renault Pro Plus range can power your team with reliability and aftercare service you can count on. Visit one of our Renault Pro Plus specialist dealers to find out more.
Skeletor got £35 off his budget car insurance at Money's Supermarket, and now he feels like the whole world is queuing for his autograph. Like his life's a standing ovation that'll never end. Like he could light up the sky with a flame. Get £35 off budget car insurance. Another epic deal exclusively from Money's Supermarket. Offer ends August 8. New policies only when purchasing budget car insurance through Money's Supermarket before August 8, 2017. Geographical exclusions apply. See Money's Supermarket for full T's and C's.
Talk radio. Dial up some dialogue.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Good evening, Lindsay.
Hi.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Hiya. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm alright.
I wish I could fly way up to the sky, but I can't. You can? I can't. Oh, I can do a good Orville impression.
When? Oh, that.
Ignore her, Lindsay. She's in a foul mood this evening. What have you got for us, Lindsay?
I don't know. What do you want to know about? So, I've been told by the taxi driver
Yes.
to tell you my favourite band.
Hang on a minute. You've been called by the taxi driver.
My autism.
Okay. Are you going to talk about drinking? You've been called by the taxi driver to tell us your fifth favourite band.
My taxi driver has told me to ring you and tell me about my third favourite
Your
band.
third?
But also, I've heard you talk about autism.
Yes.
And therefore, I've got something to say about that as well.
Okie dokie. And where are you getting a taxi from and to?
From Sheffield to Penistone.
And what have you been doing this evening, Lindsay?
I have been out on a work do.
Yes.
Dressing up as
A sexy nurse.
South Park.
Sorry?
So yeah, it was a work do like
A booze up.
no, it was a booze up, yeah. And it was like it's a HSBC thing, and you have to find the next pub that you're going to.
So you've been on a pub crawl. You've been a treasure hunt.
Let's have a guess.
I've been on a pub crawl, but in fancy dress.
Right,
Yeah.
Lindsay, are you dressed as Mr. Hankey?
No, I'm dressed as Wendy that no one ever knows, but it's the only female thing on...
Never seen South Park.
So,
Oh, hang on, let me think.
Never seen...
Oh, Wendy's one of the little
so
girls.
I look a bit of a div. I had to get the train from Penistone to Sheffield looking like an absolute idiot.
You've shown it to me. It means nothing to me.
You've got a pink beret on and a purple...
Yes, exactly. A pink beret and a purple...
And this is the HSBC, you say, using our money to fund your booze hunt.
Shut up. I shouldn't have said that.
There we go. Well, go on, Lindsay. Who...
We have to pay
So
for
is your cab driver listening to Talk Radio?
No, it is. Yeah, it was. I made him turn it off because it's a...
Well, good for him. Well done, Mr. Taxi Driver.
We have to pay for it. It's not an HSBC
No, okay.
funded thing.
Okie dokie. Boy, you're going to feel rough in the morning. Are you working tomorrow?
Don't get me sacked.
Are you working tomorrow, Lindsay?
I am, yes.
You're going to feel rough as arseholes.
No, I am.
Lindsay, so who is your third favourite band?
Well, I'm thinking Stereophonics.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because they're a bit rubbish, aren't they?
Well, they're alright.
Exactly, they're all right. They're all right.
They're alright, yeah.
They're all right. And you wanted to talk about autism.
Well, only because you've been talking about it.
Yes.
And my stepson is autistic.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. Only because he is, and I don't know, ask me some questions.
Well, I don't know what you want to say about him.
Nothing. It was just, you were talking about it, and I was like, oh, yeah. You know, he's...
You say he's your stepson. How long have you been his stepmum?
About 3-4 years.
And how's that going? How's you know, the autism to one side? How's that going as a child-parent relationship? How old is he?
Really good. I mean, as far as it can.
Yeah.
Really good. You know, but you've got to understand the differences with autistic kids, and you know, as good as he can.
Okay. Well, Lindsay, that's all we can hope for in this day and age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay! Go home and have a coffee and drink loads of water.
Thank you, I will.
Cheers, my dears. Ta-ta. The Stereophonics are a terrible band.
I mean...
They are a terrible...
Bland.
Oh, the bland band. The bland band, starring the Stereophonics. Good evening, Dom.
Did the lady say she was from a place called Penistone?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know that's spelled Penis Town?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
The band, though, hey?
You know, the reason being, I find it difficult to, pin my favourite band down. It's like a tussle between Queen and the Beatles.
Oh.
Well, you say your favourite band?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in your favourite band.
No, he said Dire Straits is his third.
Right, Dire Straits, that's fine. Well, don't tell us about the other two.
It's clear, of course he's going to tell you about the other two.
I'm not interested in the other two. The phone-in is your third favourite band.
I'm going to tell you about all 100 of them.
Here's the thing, everyone thinks everyone else is interested in the things that they're interested in, and no one is. It's like telling somebody your dream. Nobody cares apart from you.
I told you my dream
earlier. You don't want to know about my dream.
I'm going to cut you off. There we go. Even by his standards, that was pee-poor. Pee-poor.
You're very harsh tonight.
Well, harsh but fair.
Well.
Harsh but fair.
Well.
034, saying that, I got rid of all the calls now. 03444991000, the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
The Paul Ross Full Set Breakfast, tomorrow morning from 6 on Talk Radio.
Because of the
Been saying it, and now it's happened. Got Friday on my mind, and the next Full Set Breakfast this Friday, setting you up for the weekend. Join me from 6 in the morning, current affairs conversation, have your say with Better Call Paul, and some tips and hints about what to do and where to go this Saturday and Sunday, you lucky people.
The Paul Ross Full Set Breakfast, tomorrow morning from 6 on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Just getting geeky and boring for a bit. My sister lives in New Zealand, right? And so, as a kind thing, I bought her an old 60s record player. I couldn't find a dance set, but I found an old 60s record player that works.
but it's based in America. Based in good old America, right? So I ordered it, and with the postage and all of that, it's not that... It's a few quid, right? It's a few quid. It's a nice gift, okay? But it's not extortionate. So I've ordered this this old 60s record player from America to be sent over to New Zealand. And fair play to the gentleman selling it to me. He said, just to let you know, this is 110 volts. Will that be a problem?
Oh.
I don't want to send it and you be disappointed. Well, first of all...
Top bloke.
Top geezer. That is top class online selling. Right? So I've replied, oh, I just assumed that a travel adapter would work. America to New Zealand travel adapter. He's replied, I'm not sure that will. I've replied, oh, ... Why is life so complicated? I just want to send my sister an old record player as a present, and it's a beautiful, beautiful machine, but now I'm worried it's going to burn down her house and kill everybody in that building. Here's what we need. We need an electrician. We need either a New Zealand electrician who grew up in the States, or an American electrician who grew up in New Zealand.
Or one of those clever people online who do up old record players, because they would know.
No, they won't. They won't know though, because it's not even British voltage going to New Zealand. It's American. Volts is watts and watts is volts. Pablo's on the line. Good evening, Pablo.
Yeah, but Pablo, do.
I'm taking no prisoners tonight, Pablo. So you better come in with your good stuff straight away.
Third favourite band, relatively obscure, but it's a band formerly known as Andrew Jackson Jihad, but now known as AJJ.
The Andrew Jackson Jihad. I like that. It's a good name for a band.
Yeah, well, they've got lots of stuff out there. Most of it's not up for public airplay.
Okay.
They recently limited it down to AJJ just so they didn't,
be a bit more politically correct. Political correctness. Political correctness is called, of course, the Andrew Jackson Jihad to change their name to AJJ.
Yeah, but a good song. It's under around about exactly 2 minutes that you would like, I think.
Okay.
Well, I should hope they've got more than one good song, otherwise they would be your
plenty.
8th favourite band.
Well, that's it. I was having a quick listen earlier on just to double check, and pretty much 95% of them have swears in them. So I found one specifically that doesn't.
Okay.
So, yeah. And it's now that I'm at the top of my game, if you were interested.
Now what?
Now that I'm at the top of my game.
That's the name of the song he wants you to listen to.
I'm not going to listen to it.
Well, it's up to you if you do or you don't.
I did tell you you've got. I'm taking no prisoners tonight, and you've got to be at the top of your game.
Well, there you go. It's on.
Just cut them off. No prisoners tonight. No prisoners. I've got loads to talk about tonight. If you want to call in, you're welcome to. Just come on, guys. I'm at the. Come on, guys. Come on. Oh, well, let's do this because I feel we ought to. Right? We've mentioned it already. Now, where is it? Hang on a minute. That's the wrong paper, isn't it?
Oh.
Let's try the start. Oh. What day is it today?
Thursday.
I've written in here. Oh, here we go, yeah. King is off his rocker. Gibraltar talks fury. The King of Spain sparked an angry backlash. He looks like a less anti-Semitic Mel Gibson.
He's very handsome in his day. Everyone fancied Prince Felipe.
Prince Felipe, the Lord, the King of Spain, España. I am King Felipe of España. I'm going to make love to all of you in many different wonderful ways. You'll be touched in a way you've never been touched before, and you will love every minute of it.
I know someone who did military service with Prince Felipe.
Oh, yeah?
And went to the loo alongside him just
Hung
to check.
like a donkey?
Well, she said that his wee was not blue. I said, I don't think it's
No.
Me that's supposed to be blue.
The King of Spain sparked an angry backlash last night by demanding his country has a say over Gibraltar's sovereignty. I don't care about Gibraltar. I don't even really know where it is or what it is or why it is.
It's got monkeys.
I bet people that live there are really annoying. I bet they're annoying.
I only knew one person from Gibraltar, and yes, she was annoying.
If you live in Gibraltar and you're not annoying, give us a call, 03444. Oh, someone wants to Skype in. How can they Skype in?
I don't know, that's why I retweeted it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They can Skype, because the thing is, right,
there we go.
People manage to get in on the phone lines. I have no idea how they do that. That's what they need to do, because, frankly, I could give you the name that you have to put in.
Calm down.
Let me say it. I'm calm. I'm perfectly calm. I'm perfectly calm.
Yeah, go on.
I could give you the name, but then that would mean that Sam has got to keep listening across the channel on the off chance that someone wants to Skype in.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Well, in that case, you can Skype Hey Rabbit Hole Show, because I've got that turned on right now. So you can Skype in Hey Rabbit Hole Show.
Okay.
There we go. You can Skype that and come on. That's how you do it. King Felipe addressed MPs and Lords at the start of a 3-day state visit. Amid already tense British and Spanish relations, he called for new talks about The Rock. I love that guy. He's a great actor.
Are there already tense relations between us and Spain?
According to this, there are. He also backed... No, there is always tense relations about The Rock. No, about The Rock.
Oh, yeah, but...
No, there is tense British-Spanish relations because somebody said something. Well, didn't Boris Johnson say something about Spain, quite inflammatory, recently? I'm sure he did. He also backed a Brexit veto for his country. The EU has called for... I just give him space. You know what we should do? Just give him Gibraltar. Give him Las Malvinas. Give it back. Oh, you can have it. You can have it. Oh, get in there. Get in there. We're shutting down. Pull down the shutters. You can have it. Isle of Wight. Oh, you can have that. Alan.
Good evening.
Good evening, Alan.
How are you, Lee?
I feel a little bit gaseous today.
Why is that, mate?
Oh, we had a massive meal before the show, but ruining both of our diets.
No, not ruining.
Oh, dear.
You can have a cheat day. It's my cheat day.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff. Anyway, how's the scooter going, Ian?
Do you know what? It's going all right. I've not ridden into work this week just because of stuff, but I went for a little ride on it a couple of days ago. Went out for a coffee on it, and it was delightful. And I'm going to ride it in maybe Monday of next week.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It's a joy.
Well, why I've called in, Ian?
Yes.
I was just been listening to you about your record player.
Yeah.
Right, and on a record player, actually, you've got dual voltage, even on a 60s record player.
Really?
So it can be changed from 240 to 110.
Well, hang on a minute. How do you do this?
Well, on the back of the record player, there should be a dual voltage switch.
What?
Where you just...
No, there's not. What are you talking about?
Well, there should be.
There's not.
Well, okay then. If there isn't one of them, Ian, you can buy something called an upper, which is a transformer which will up the voltage from 110 or drop it down from 240 to 110.
Oh. And so their house won't go on fire?
No.
An upper, you say?
Yeah, well, it's an upper or a downer. Whichever the transformer is, you want it down to 110, so you better 240...
No, I want it to go... I think I want it to go up to 220 from 110.
Yeah, well, what you do then, you get the transformer, which is an upper then, which will operate the voltage to it and drop it to 110.
All right, Alan, I'm going to hold you. Thank you for that. I'm going to hold you to that, Alan. If that is incorrect data, then I'm going to come round to your house and I'm going to do push unspeakable things through your letterbox. 03444991000 is the telephone number. The late night alternative with me and Lee on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Uber. Talk Radio. Work or not at the touch of a button. Uber. Where to?
My name is Candace. I'm 34 years old. Football lover. Father of one. Before I became partner with Uber, I was working as a parcel delivery driver. When I became partner with Uber, I've got more time for my daughter. I've got more freedom. Better life now. I have to be honest, So it did help me quite a lot. I don't have to be there every day. And it's more professional. Everything's done by app. You get to meet quite a lot of people. There are really funny people out there, especially at night time after 12. So it's really fun talking to them. I mean, when you're driving and when you talk to someone, time goes quickly as well. And I really enjoy what I'm doing.
Uber on Talk Radio. Work or not at the touch of a button. Uber. Where to? Visit uber.com/driveuk to find out more.
If you pay for something, you should get to keep it, right? Yet with most mobile networks, you have to say goodbye to any data you haven't used at the end of every month. So say hello to Sky Mobile, the only network to automatically roll over all your unused data every month. And no matter what plan you choose, your data is yours to keep for 3 years. Plans start from £5 a month, and Sky TV customers also get free unlimited calls and texts. Search Sky Mobile and say hello to rolling your data with plans from £5 a month. Sky, believe in better. 12-month minimum term. Free calls and texts to standard UK numbers as a Sky TV customer. Standard price £10. Acceptable use policy and terms apply. Redeem data per 1 gigabyte.
I am Alfa Romeo, created by racing legends and innovated for a century with uncompromising Italian style and spirit. Test me now.
This July, test drive the Alfa Mito, Giulietta, 4C or Giulia and receive an extra £2,250 contribution in addition to other promotions, but only till July 31st.
Contact your local dealer now or search Alfa Test Me.
Offer on new Mito, Giulietta, 4C and Giulia, excluding Quadrifoglio. Ordered by 31st July and registered by 30th September 2017. 2250 includes VAT, excludes PCH. Retail customers and participating dealers only. T's and C's apply.
George McTavish, Neephead Galloway, you have been found guilty of presenting dangerously compelling radio. How do you plead?
Guilty as charged. Never said that before. The mother of all talk shows with George Galloway.
Join me for 3 hours of double galvanized opinion, supercharged debate, and highly energized crystalline vision. Radio Free Galloway. Knock me right down and I'll bounce right back.
The mother of all talk shows with George Galloway.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Tomorrow night from 7
on the nation's new home of sizzling debate.
Talk Radio. Maybe you can't handle the truth.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
We just had a call on Skype, so let me see if let's see if this works. Hang on a second. Kevin in Aldershot. Kevin Aldershot, I think his name is. He just called. Hey, Kevin. This is Skype. Kevin. Kevin, can you hear me? Can you feel me near you? Kevin, can you see me? Can I help to hear you? Ooh, Kevin, Kevin, Kevin! Kevin, you pudding! Where are you? I can see Kevin's house, but I can't see Kevin. Kevin! Are you dead, man? He's gone. I could see him, but I could see his house, but was unable. We'll take. The Skype will be open. I think it's working. Hey, Rabbit Hole Show, if you want to Skype in, you'd be more than welcome to. In the meantime, let's go to the old-fashioned telephono. Steve, Adam.
Steve.
Adam.
Iain, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Adam. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I've just been speaking to one of my customers, Lindsay.
Oh!
Oh, you're the taxi driver.
I am indeed.
Hey, good for you, Adam. Well, this is what we want. We want the taxi drivers on side.
Well, I'm the guy also that spoke to you last week about being the biggest fan of Celine Dion.
Oh, the Celine Dion. Yeah, we go. Well, good for you. And you're converting your slightly drunk fares one at a time, and we appreciate that, Adam.
You're most welcome. Because I was listening to the radio and she was saying, what are you listening to? I said, you've got to listen to this radio station. I said, just listen along, you'll see what I mean. And she was listening to it. And then I was saying, you know, and obviously the call came out, the autism.
Yeah.
She wanted to say something. I said, look, feel free, give them a call.
Yeah.
You know, you can see, you can talk to them and see what you want to say. And then also you mentioned about your third favourite band as well. And she didn't believe me. I said, look, I'm driving. You give him a call and have a chat with him.
It worked. It absolutely worked. But neither you nor her have got anything to say, though. That's the thing. That is the thing.
I'm trying to convert people for you. That's what I'm doing. That's my mission now.
Dude, that is what we want. That is what we want. We need more people. Good God damn it, Adam. Otherwise, this show is never going to survive.
It will. It will.
Bless you, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
No problem. Take care.
Bye-bye. No, neither of them had anything to say, but wasn't it a joy to hear their voices? Let's try this guy one more time, because this guy keeps calling. And what was that? Let's try. This is Kevin. Kevin! I can see. Oh, he's covered it.
Oh.
Kevin, dude. There we go. He saw a book. He's got a book. He's holding a book. What does it say, Kevin? Dad began choosing planks. You just wait. We'll why are you lots? We'll make a kennel. He told me. That's right. And then we'll teach him lots and lots of tricks, and he can be a watchdog. What? Why'd you? Okay, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin's allowing us to read a book.
He was very insistent, considering that was the thing.
Yeah. Let's go to Steve. Good evening, Steve.
Hello?
Hello, Steve.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I know.
Ian.
Yes?
And the young woman.
Huh?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah?
Yeah, Beatles or Stones?
Beatles every single time. What a stupid question.
I love you.
Thanks for calling, Steve. Roger. Strange vibe tonight. When I came in to see James and Ash at 9:30, I said there's a strange vibe going on in this studio. And it's carrying on into our show, Dark Times.
There's been a strange vibe all day, actually.
Yeah, there has. I've been arguing with a lot of people. I called a kid a tosser today and a PR1CK. He just stopped in the middle of the road to check his phone, so I beeped him and he gave me the finger. I went, you look...
I don't know whether that's a game, because I've had that done to me before, where they're crossing in front of you and then all of a sudden they start walking really slowly.
No, it wasn't a game. He just was oblivious to the fact that life was going on around him and he wasn't the centre of it. Roger!
Evening, Ian.
Evening, Roger. You're not the fictional Roger that Katia goes out with, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, that's Roger.
Yeah.
I'm the Roger that sent a sweary tweet as response to your tweets earlier.
Okay.
The incident.
Yes. What sweary one did you? Oh, you were effing angry.
Yes, I was.
Effing angry.
And I sent them an apology for the swearing.
These things happen.
But yeah, I said don't feel I'm disabled, so don't feel silly about it. That's why I was absolutely furious.
Yep.
So
Well, they've
I totally understand.
Very, very nice emails have been exchanged, and I'm going to put forward tomorrow. I'm going to explain what I think their changes in their attitude should be, and who knows? Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll happen.
Yeah. Well, away from the heavy stuff, I've been racking my brains over the third favourite band.
Yeah, go on.
I'll be surprised if anybody's heard of them.
Go on.
Savlonic.
Who? Are they named after Savlon?
Kinda, yes. They started as a comedy animated band, bit like Gorillaz, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
But their last album was the first serious piece of music that they've done, and it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't know whether You may have heard. You may have heard of the guy behind it.
No, I bet I haven't. And I've heard of most things. This is the thing. I've heard of most things.
You've heard of Badger, surely?
No.
Don't believe in them.
Oh, not that again. I remember that. But yeah, no, you must have seen the Badger.
No, I've not. I've not.
Animation.
No.
I am shocked.
No, I've never seen it. I've only seen good things.
Oh, Iain, you wound me.
Oh, well, Roger, I'm sorry. How will we get over this in our relationship?
I know. I nearly said hip, hip, hip because I've been listening for, is it over a year now, I think?
Well, it should be over a year.
Yeah, because I started listening when a certain person was standing in at the other place.
She Who Must Not Be Named.
Yes, She Who Must Not Be
We
Named.
got so many listeners when she was doing it, and now we're getting loads of listeners tonight. Welcome all of the people. Welcome young and old. This is the home of fun between 10 and 1 weeknights. Forget the other place. All of the other places that have 3 letters in their names. They are dead. They are moribund. They are no more.
Yeah, at this time they are, especially.
Yeah. Thank you, Roger. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Ta-ta.
Right, ta-ta.
Strange vibe. A lot of arguing with people on the way in. People just gets really bad pedestrianship. Really poor pedestrian skills today. And everyone was just like, it's just this Kevin guy. This is your last shot, Kevin, before I block you. Yes, Kevin. Kevin? You see, I mean, that's it. Right, he's blocked. Actually, blocked now. There we go. No, I'm not having anonymous callers calling up. That's not what this show's about, guys. Saturday night though, 9 till 12. I'm filling in for Dr. Pam Sperm. 9 till 12, and we're going to take calls straight to air. I'm going to stroll. I'm going to do no preparation whatsoever for the show. I'm going to stroll in at 5 minutes to 9. I'm going to sit down. We're going to open up the lines. What's that noise?
It's Michael.
Oh God, turn it off. It's too noisy. It's too noisy. I can't. Seriously, I can hear it. Shut it. Take it out. It's too noisy. Listen to it. No. Take it out. Honestly, I can hear it. You have to go and sit there. You have to go and sit out there then, until it stops doing that. What a bloody racket! What a bloody racket! She's banished. I've banished her because when your computer stops making that noise, you can come back in. Unbelievable. Has it stopped? You can come back in. It starts again, you're out. I've worked out why I am overweight. Household dust. I've been eating too much of it. This is a great story. There are plenty of good reasons to keep the house tidy and clean. Name them. But now scientists have found another one. They say that household dust could be making you fat. Jeez.
Come on.
Guys, it's the pie. It's
Is
Ginsters.
it the household dust that gathers on the biscuits?
It's Ginsters. That's what makes you fat. It's those Rustler burgers. Air fresheners, washing liquid and flame retardants, I don't think you can call them that anymore, all contain chemicals which we breathe in after they build up in dust. Scientists have now found these chemicals may cause fat to build up in our cells. The findings mean keeping up to date with the housework may be even more important. Researchers at the Duke University in the US found 10 out of 11 samples of dust from household homes contain the harmful chemicals. Researcher Dr. Christopher Cassotis said, dusting with a damp cloth as dry dusting may just remobilize contaminants, and vacuuming more frequently has been shown to... This is a load of old bollocks, this is. Absolute baloney. In fact, if you eat too much and don't take enough exercise, look, because of the dusting. Gender-bending chemicals. Huh?
What?
This has taken an unusual turn. Gender-bending chemicals found in every home have already been linked to breast cancer, asthma, and female infertility. Is this the thing that they were talking about in the States, that drinking milk makes you gay? Do you remember that Alex Jones was going on about they're putting stuff in your milk to make you gay?
Hormones or something, yeah.
But the latest study warns they may also be making us fatter, with children at particular risk. The US researchers took household dust samples from residents who'd not vacuumed for at least 2 days. Dust from 7 out of 11 samples causes cells to... oh, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. The dust also included isopropylated triaryl phosphates. Yeah, those guys.
That's what I thought.
No. Which are found in washing liquids and air freshener. Does anybody do it? Air freshener anymore? No one does it anymore. It's all those bloody sticks in the little jars.
Or plug-ins.
Oh, no, plug-ins are very 1990s.
I know.
My favourite air fresheners were like those plastic sort of, like tablets.
Oh,
big
the ones
plastic
with the jelly
tablets
in.
With the jelly in, and like the sort of grill across it and a jelly in it. I used to love that stuff. I used to love it.
My mum has lots of those ones that automatically squirt all over the house.
Oh, they have them here. And I got a face full of it. It was like a bukkake party. I got shot in the face by the air freshener.
Because they're motion sensitive, aren't they?
No, well, so they're motion... No.
And on a timer.
These ones were on a timer, and I was just stood there looking at it, and it went... Right, oh, jeez.
On a Friday, as you know, I go for a nap at my parents' house
I do
for
know
really boring reasons.
Yes.
And in the room that I use, my old bedroom, my mum's got one of these things, right? It's a really small room. I had to take it out the other week because I could taste it.
Yeah.
It's a small room with the door shut, and that thing's squirting every 5 minutes or whatever it was. Flipping heck.
Yeah, it's a big con. It's a big con, the old air fresheners. Big con.
Just open a window.
Just open a window and don't have dogs.
Stop blowing off.
That's the... well, OK, you took it there. Dear listener, another hour of this nonsense. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. It's now is a great time to call, mainly because we haven't got any calls, but also because we're going to go to the break in a second. So if you call up, you'll be lined up, ready to go in the last hour of the show. Don't forget, so many ways you can listen to us. I'm assuming that you've downloaded the Talk Radio app. You can also listen on DAB, or you can go online, talkradio.co.uk. This is the late night alternative. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, digital debate for the UK.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
I used to be a labourer.
Coffee, please.
Yeah, I'd be on site by 7 every morning, which meant getting up at the break of dawn instead of staying in bed, cuddling my wife Dawn. But now I drive with Uber, and I start when I want.
Are you ever going to get up?
Or when Dawn wants me to.
Work or not, at the touch of a button. Find out more at uber.com/driveuk. Uber. Where to?
At Homebase, we're all about summer value for your garden. Save £40 on this Sovereign 40cm self-propelled petrol lawnmower, now only £99.99. Homebase, always low prices.
I'm a dead man.
Tim, Mudgeon Wolf, what's happened?
The party got out of hand. There's claret everywhere. The carpet, the sofa. My parents are going to kill me.
You're not dead yet, Tim. Your parents have 5-star de facto rated direct line Home Plus insurance.
What does that mean?
It means they're covered and the wolves just saved your bacon. Although I'd still make a quick getaway if I were you.
Why?
You're 31, Tim. It's time to fly the nest.
Cover your home with Direct Line's 5-star de facto rated Home Plus insurance. Search Direct Line Home Plus. Cover and limit supply. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. For those about to talk, we salute you. Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. We've talked about record players, we've talked about Gibraltar, we've talked about your third favourite band, and we've talked about dust. What more do you want from a radio show, guys? What more do you want? This is the late night alternative, different to every other show on the radio at this time of night on Talk Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at midnight, Donald Trump has used a speech in France to hint he could change his mind on the US pulling out of the international Paris climate change deal.
Something could happen with respect to the Paris Accord. We'll see what happens. But we will talk about that over the coming period of time.
Despite disagreeing on climate, the US president said France and America have an unbreakable bond as they met in Paris. The French president insisted they'll continue to talk about combating global warming. An American doctor offering to treat terminally ill baby Charlie Gard might travel to London to examine him. His parents are due back in court later as a judge considers whether an experimental treatment should be allowed. Jeremy Corbyn has accused Theresa May of acting like Henry VIII by using the Brexit repeal bill to bypass Parliament. The Labour leader is concerned about how European laws will be automatically replaced by British ones. 2 school buildings have failed fire safety tests to cladding on them after the Grenfell Tower disaster. They're both in London, but have both been declared safe to use. In sport, Johanna Konta says she won't forget this year's Wimbledon experience in a hurry. The British tennis #1 became the first home player to make the ladies' semi-finals since 1978. She was beaten in straight sets by Venus Williams on a packed centre court.
We was all banking on Jo, weren't we, really? But no, she's done well, I think, over the last few weeks.
Konta's great, but at the moment I think Venus Williams is pretty unbeatable.
Konta in the second set just didn't really believe that she could do it. I mean, Venus was pretty faultless.
I just then it got to the stage we knew Venus had it in the bag, basically, but Jo, she was brilliant.
British singles interest may be over, but a real Wimbledon favourites in action later. 7-time champion Roger Federer faces Thomas Burdick. They're up after Sam Querrey plays Marin Cilic. And Saturday Night Live and Westworld lead the Emmy nominations with 22 each. Game of Thrones was absent because its transmission dates fall outside the Emmys' range. That's the latest. I'm Simon English.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, it's Friday now, isn't it? Yes. It's the freaking weekend, baby, and I'm going to be working all weekend, which is delightful. So tomorrow I've got the kids. I'm going to take the kids to see Mum, and then we will leave Mum at the care home, and I will take the boys to see Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man's dad because he's a kid. He's an English kid.
Well, this is it. I saw
Tom Holland.
The trailer for Spider-Man. I saw a little sort of snippet of an interview.
Yeah.
He looks about 15.
He's not much older than that.
But I suppose Peter Parker was a kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know his dad. His dad's Dominic Holland, who's a stand-up that's been around for years and years. I remember when I did stand-up briefly, 22 years ago. I remember doing a gig. It was a series of clubs in London called Big Fish, run by a young lady called Delphine, who gave me my second ever paid gig. They were compared by Stephen K. Amos. And I remember doing one of these gigs on a Saturday night, and Dominic Holland was doing his 20-minute set, and he came off, got his money, and he shot off to go and do another gig. And I remember thinking, oh, that's the coolest thing in the world, man. And he's a good stand-up. He's a really good stand-up. He's been on telly and stuff, I think. I don't really watch these panel show type things because I find them awfully aggressive. But I think he's been on like Mock the Week and stuff like that. And he was kind of tipped. When I was doing stand-up, there were all these people that were tipped that were going to be huge stars. And he still makes a good living out of it. And he's a really funny man, Dominic, really funny. But I don't think... And maybe I'm doing him a disservice. It could be argued that perhaps it didn't take off as much as he was expected to. But he's a good stand-up. But I bumped into him, having not seen him for 15, 16 years. I bumped into him and auditioned for something a few years ago. And I went, all right, Dominic, nice to see you, man. He's a really nice bloke. And said, what are you up to? He said, well, my boy's just got a part in a movie. I went, oh, yeah. He said, yeah, he's got a part in a movie. He's the new Spider-Man. I went, flipping heck. And he was proud as punch, as you would be if your son was going to be a movie star. And his boy's a movie star. You know, he's sorted now. His boy, as long as he doesn't put his foot wrong, he's sorted.
Speaking of his foot, I heard him interviewed on a different radio station.
Oh, yeah.
He's had a tattoo done of a spider.
Oh!
On the sole of his foot.
Oh, jeez.
Yowza.
Really?
Yeah.
That's got to... that's just showing off. That's just showing off. But it's funny, isn't it? I do wonder, and good luck to him, best of luck to him. This isn't any way questioning his ability, but I do wonder why they gave it to a Brit.
Well, wasn't Superman a Brit as well this time around?
I don't really know. I don't keep up to date with Superman.
I think Superman.
Yeah, I'm not up to date with Superman. But it just seemed. You know, it's such both of them, if that's true about Superman, they're both such American heroes, iconic American heroes.
that it feels a bit naughty, a bit deceptive to give them to British people.
Henry Cavill, yeah, he's British.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Well,
but
good for him.
I suppose it matters less with Superman because... Oh, no, that's not true.
Because he's from another planet. But no,
But
he's
he
an
grew up
American
in
hero.
America, didn't he? In
he's
sort
an
of the
American-
Midwest.
Yeah, he's an American hero. It's funny that. But I'm looking forward to this, because I do like these Marvel superhero films. What was the one with Benedict Cumberbatch in? Doctor Doom? No, not Doctor Doom. Doctor Strange. I quite enjoyed that. I thought the story went on a bit too long. I wanted to see, him zapping people and stuff. But I do like these Marvel things. And going to see it with a couple of boys, it's just, they buy into it totally.
Well, I haven't seen any of those yet. I think the girls are just on the cusp of getting into superheroes. I wanted to take them to see Wonder Woman, but they didn't fancy it.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that awful?
Just take them anyway.
Well, I shouldn't give them the choice.
Oh,
Those
of
kids
course
would
not.
go and see the same cartoon over and over again.
No, just take them to see it. I enjoyed. The boys didn't see Wonder Woman, not because it was Wonder Woman, just because it was a bit too long.
I thought it was a bit long.
It's too long and there's too much talky bits in it. I mean, if it comes out on DVD, I'll probably get it and watch it and stuff. But
I loved that, but I loved the idea of it. I think I was in love with the idea of it.
yeah, I like superhero films. I've not seen Batman versus Superman. I'd like to see that. But they do change the actors that play them quite quickly these days.
Yeah, whereas with us, it was always Christopher Reeve, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Batman, was what's his name? Bale. Christian Bale. For 3 films, 3 brilliant films. And then
I've never seen them.
Then they gave it. Is it Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Who's now?
Isn't that strange? They sort of went older.
Yeah. But then is it canon? Is it canon? You know what I mean by that question? Is it canon? Are they canon? Are the new Batman films canon? Is Batman the TV series canon? Do you know what I mean by that question? You may not. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Okay, well, the geeks will know what I mean. Is it canon?
Meaning that all those films go together?
Do they all exist in the same universe?
Yeah.
Does 60s Batman... Well, 60s Batman can't be canon. Is it canon? Is it canon? Okay, this is the question for the rest of the show. Is it canon? 0344 499 1000. Can you tweet that, please, Catherine? Because that is...
I'm going to tweet it. I'm not entirely sure what it means. I will do it anyway.
Is it canon? Nothing...
Are we spelling canon?
C-A-N-O-N.
You sure?
Yeah. Nothing excites me more than reading the name in the Daily... What name is it in the Daily Mail? That gets me horny.
Oh, Fernandez.
Colin Fernandez, the true science correspondent. We read The Dust Story was merely an hors d'oeuvre written by Victoria Allen. Science correspondent. For me, the one true science correspondent, the canon, is Colin Fernandez. I love this. This is absolutely brilliant. The future is now, and it's brilliant. Listen to this. It sounds like a plot from Wallace and Gromit. But scientists
It's the wrong trouser.
have built a staircase that will literally put a spring in your step. They've got a staircase that will help you walk upstairs. I love this.
We're going to end up like the people in Wall-E.
The invention makes it easier to climb the stairs by using springs that absorb energy when a person walks down them. Hang on a minute. The invention makes it easier to climb the stairs by using springs that absorb energy when a person walks down them, which is then released to help them on their way back up.
Oh, right.
A pressure sensor on each step uses the stored energy to push feet up or down. What the
Up or down?
Yeah.
But he said down.
Scientists behind the technology claim it can reduce the amount of effort needed to climb stairs by around a third. Yeah,
No,
because that's what we need is less exercise.
Yeah, this is the wrong thing.
And can also relieve the strain on joints when descending. The energy recycling stairs could assist the elderly or the lazy and spare the household's cost of expensive stair lifts or building work.
What, to build a slide?
This is how it works, right?
This is nuts.
Step number 1. When a person stands on the assisted step, it is gradually lowered to a down position where it locks in place, storing the energy in the springs underneath. Tests show braking needed by the trailing leg is reduced by 21% as the downward force is absorbed by the springs. I hope you're taking notes. I bet you're wishing we were doing that bloody Pina Colada song again. 3. As they climb the stairs, the springs push upwards to give a boost to the trailing leg, reducing the... I think this is utter bullshine, Colin. I think you've let yourself down here, mate. Lead researcher. Find this woman. We'll try and get her on the show tomorrow. She's in Georgia, Atlanta. Dr. Karen Liu, L-I-U, is the Associate Professor of Interactive Computing at the Georgia Institute of Technology, GIT, in Atlanta. Let's see if we can get her on the show. She said, the device can be easily installed on top of existing stairs, so people who need temporary assistance, such as those recovering from knee surgery, pregnant women, or lazy people, could benefit from it. Dr. Liu said she got the idea by looking for ways to help her 72-year-old mother who can still walk but struggles with stairs. Tests in the laboratory published in the journal showed that special steps could reduce the strain on a person's knee by 37%. And she reckons this could cost $100 a step.
Right, I've got her. I'm sending her a message.
Let's get her on. Get her on. That's what we want. I want to speak to this lady. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
We've got entertainment, and we're not afraid to use it. Talk Radio.
The trials begin. Families at war. Battles for the throne. Until you can take no more.
No more?
Okay, one more.
How about loads more? With the Now TV Entertainment Pass, you can stream every new episode of Game of Thrones Season 7. Plus, you'll also get a 14-day free trial. Just search Now TV Game of Thrones.
And let your trial begin.
Exactly. Want to watch at mine? I've got crisps. Ooh. 18 plus, new customers only, parcel to renews at $7.99 a month unless cancelled.
This is Martin Freeman with an urgent message from the British Red Cross. In response to the recent horrific terror attacks in London and Manchester, we have set up the UK Solidarity Fund. The funds will go to help victims of terror attacks anywhere in the UK. To donate, you can visit redcross.org.uk/unity. Thank you.
Hi, I'm here to trade in my trainers.
Trade in your trainers?
Yeah, they're really old. Didn't buy them here. Seen better days, to be honest. I wouldn't get too close. I want to put them towards some lovely new ones.
Sorry, sir, we don't do that.
Really? Vauxhall do? I just got £2,000 for my old banger to put towards a brand new car.
Yes, you can afford a new car. Scrap your old car, and on top of our other great offers, we'll give you £2,000 scrappage to put towards a shiny new Vauxhall. Visit your local retailer or search Vauxhall Scrappage for more information. Trading car registered in your name for at least 90 days. Offer available to individuals and small businesses. UK supplied vehicles only. Exclusions apply. Limited time at participating retailers. Full T's and C's apply.
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of dialogue, debate and discourse.
Talk Radio. Give it some lift. The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Good evening, Cyril.
Hi, Iain, yes.
I don't believe that's your real name for a second.
Well, why not? There's plenty of people called Cyril.
I don't believe you are one of them.
Well, I am.
I don't believe it.
Nevertheless.
Well,
so, yeah,
Iain,
can you tell me about the stairs?
Jesus. We'll continue.
Yes.
What would you like to know about the stairs, Cyril?
Well, because I'm not very good on stairs, and how do you get them?
Well, if you send me a cheque for £5,000, I will get them installed for you by the end of next week.
What have you got in stairs? I see you as oak.
Well, they're carpeted.
Carpeted oak? Or is it a stone?
Sorry?
Stone.
Have you ever seen stairs being installed? It's
there before the house.
No, they're not always. It's a remarkable sight. A few years ago, we lived in London. We bought a house and we got a loft conversion. So we got the loft converted into a
Well, where do you store things then?
into another bedroom, and there were no stairs going up there, so we had to pick. Yeah, we had to look at different designs of stairs, and then one day they brought the stairs into our house. It's an amazing thing to see, a flight of stairs, because the stairs are part of the house. They're stuck against the wall, but these stairs weren't. These were fresh stairs, and they were installed, and they were put in, and then they became part of the house. And only me and my wife would know that those stairs don't belong there.
But how did they go before?
Well, you have to go up through a ladder.
Never. Really? Are you telling me the truth?
Yes, I am, Cyril. Thanks so much for calling. That was poor. That was poor. Yeah, it's seeing a flight. You had to choose what stairs you wanted, at what shape you wanted, how the depth of each stair. So that would mean whether they were steeper or shallower. Very strange.
Best stairs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The ones in that Paddington film.
I don't really remember.
Yeah, no, they've got like a kind of windy staircase against this wall where they've drawn this picture of a big tree, and then during the course of the film, the tree starts to get flowers on it and stuff. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh. But the stairs were amazing. I would like to live in a house with interesting stairs. My stairs are boring.
Our stairs are functional. I mean, I do like stairs that go up, across, and then up again. That's
mine are just straight down. And the girls have fallen down the stairs so many times. I hate them.
Oh, there's nothing
the stairs,
worse.
Not the girls.
There's nothing worse than coming down straight stairs, very, very near the top, the heel of your slipper slipping, and you fall down. Boom! And everyone's laughing. Because it's funny. But it's an half hurt. Everything just feels like it's been pushed up an inch.
And my downstairs is open plan as well, so everyone sees it.
When was the last time you fell down the stairs, Nigel?
I never have.
Shut up, man. You've never fallen down the stairs.
Never fell down the stairs before. No, never. But I got knocked off my bike twice and broke both legs.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, I've got metal in both legs since about 5 years ago now.
Like Barry Sheen.
Yeah, I'm all metal Mickey.
Well, Barry Sheen's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is Eddie Kidd dead?
Broken bones. I
Eddie...
think he got Parkinson's disease or something like that, didn't he?
Who's that?
Barry Sheen.
I don't know, but Eddie Kidd, I think, is still with us.
Yeah.
Eddie Kidd Stunt Challenge. He had a very, very nasty accident, didn't he?
He was good. He was a good sport, wasn't he?
He was good, Eddie Kidd. He was like the British... Because Barry Sheen was racing, Eddie Kidd was stunts, and Eddie Kidd was the British Evel Knievel.
Like big jumps over cars and things.
Yeah.
There's a lot more doing it now, though, isn't there? You get more Americans doing it and stuff.
I don't think anyone cares anymore.
No. Oh, the one that got killed, no, the man that killed himself with drugs, the famous one.
You have to narrow it down a little bit.
What was the one?
Lots of men have killed themselves. Lots of men have killed themselves with drugs.
You know the motorcyclist, the most famous.
Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel, yes.
He didn't kill himself with drugs.
Well, no. He did get into drugs badly, and
but he didn't kill him
in the end.
No, I don't think it did. I think he lived. I thought Evel Knievel lived to a ripe old age.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, but.
Well, in that case, he was having a great time.
He did get very ill with drugs, and he lost a lot of weight, and then looked quite ill, and then he didn't live over about 70, I don't think.
Well, hang on a minute. That for a bloke that jumps off of massive ramps over double-decker buses, living to over 70 is pretty good.
I suppose so.
He died of lung disease. 69.
Really
Drugs.
Good, wasn't he?
Drugs.
A good. I used to watch him when I was a child, I think.
Do you know Barry Sheen had a hole put into his helmet so he could smoke before a race?
Oh,
what a geezer.
That is.
I used to watch him. I used to watch Barry Sheen at where was it, near me?
Telly?
The racing track.
The racing track, was it? Yeah.
Near London, the racing track near London.
Have you ever seen? We've all seen the David Essex film. That'll Be the Day.
Oh yes, really good film.
Really good film. Some of us have even seen the sequel to it, Stardust.
Yeah,
Has
that's good too.
anybody seen the David Essex movie Silver Dream Machine?
I have once. Yes, I saw it once.
It's just about him on a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've a dream, a silver dream machine.
The best one was the first one you mentioned.
Good.
The holiday camp.
Yes, good morning, campers.
The drummer Keith Moon.
Keith Moon, Ringo's in it.
And Ringo's in it as well. And Keith Moon does a drum solo in it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
On a little tiny kit, only 4 drums. He makes it talk, doesn't he, really?
He does. Keith Moon was...
I saw Keith. I met Keith Moon in Maidstone when I was 10.
Hang on a second.
When I was 10, I met Keith Moon when he was with The Who.
What year was that?
It was in 59, I think.
No, hang on a minute.
Well, I was 10 anyway.
Well, no, hang on a minute. Keith Moon wasn't in The Who in 1959.
Well, he was about 18 when I saw him.
Yeah, but that wasn't 90. Keith Moon didn't join The Who until about, I'm going to say 1962. Maybe 63.
It would have been late 60s then.
Oh, okay. So you were 10 years out. That's fine. Are you sure?
Well, I don't. I can't work.
Did you meet him in the same way that you've met Miley Cyrus?
No. He was walking to the pub to get a drink in the pub outside the theatre.
Yes.
They don't have a theatre there now. It's a bingo hall. Turned it into a bingo hall.
Yes.
So I met the whole group, and I met all the Hollies.
Yes.
The group called the Hollies, and the Beatles.
You met the Beatles?
Yes, because they all came to the same venue.
When you say you met them, did you go up to them and say, hello,
I
George?
didn't speak to every one of them, but I only spoke to Keith Moon because he was a drummer, you see. And he was going to have a drink in the pub right next to the theatre in Maidstone. But it's a shame they've turned the theatre into a bingo hall, and yet they don't have any live bands there now.
Yeah, well, no one wants to pay to go and see live bands.
I would like to sing you a song in a minute.
Not listening to a word I'm saying.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
No one wants to pay to see live bands anymore.
No, and of course, sometimes the venues can't afford to pay the band.
Exactly.
Because they want over several £1,000s for the band, don't they?
Well, sometimes. I did keep music live, support your small independent music venue if you can be.
I mean, the hotels can't afford to pay a band a 12-piece orchestra like £5,000 a night, can they?
Flipping heck, no, of course.
That's what they charge.
Yes.
So that's why there's no workaround for drummers like me that like playing big band music and come dancing and stuff.
That will be why, yes.
But never mind. I had some good times years ago. I wanted to sing a song if I could, in a minute. But hi to Noah Cyrus, because I've just told her I'll be live on the radio, and I did get on straight away.
Well, that's only because we've got no calls, not because you've told Miley Cyrus.
No, Noah Cyrus. This is
okay.
The other one.
Right. So, what would you like to sing for us, Nigel? Because I am losing the will to live.
Very quickly, I've got something to tell you. I went to a gym in Maidstone today, which is the brother of Dave Prowse. It's called Bob Prowse's Health Club.
Yes.
And Darth Vader was his brother. And I got to meet the trainer who trains, and I was showing him my videos of my weight training and that. He said I was doing all the right things because my muscles weren't too bad, so I'm not doing too bad with the bodybuilding.
Well, that's great to hear.
I was bigger than Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Well, Tom Cruise is quite a fit man, isn't he?
I possibly couldn't say that. He's far too litigious. Now, please get to the song, Nigel.
He's got big muscles. Anyway, I'll try and do Misty, a cappella, Misty.
Keep your clothes on.
Pardon?
Yes?
Yes, Misty, a cappella, okay, because I haven't got you back in tonight.
For goodness sake, just do it, man.
Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand, I get misty, just holding your hand.
Unbelievable.
Misty.
He was annoying me more than usual this evening. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I'm developing a cob on as the evening has...
It's a weird vibe.
It's a strange vibe. Strange vibe in London town, possibly across the country this evening. Maybe you're feeling it, maybe you're experiencing it, but everybody's a little bit short.
I was on a roundabout today, not the fun kind, the
Yes.
traffic kind, and a trucker pulled out in front of me and then acted as if it was my fault. I was the one on the roundabout. What's going on, everyone?
Sometimes I wish we had guns. just not to shoot it, but just to wave it. But they should make guns legal, but keep bullets illegal. That's what we do. Then just wave it around. Yeah. Why is it?
Can you still pistol whip someone without any bullets in? Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? In films, a swift blow to the back of a head with the butt of a gun will knock someone out. I bet that doesn't happen in real life. There's a terrible film that stars Griff Rhys-Jones and Mel Smith and some of the other not the 9 o'clock news people called Morons from Outer Space. Terrible film. Jimmy Nail's in it, actually, from late 80s, early 90s. Awful film, but there's one really funny gag in it, right? They, for some reason, have to get past a security guard and break into a room. So they get this security guard, and he goes, yeah, what do you want? He says, just turn around a minute, and they whack him on the back of the head. And he falls down, and he goes, oh, bloody hell, what'd you do that for? And they do it again, he goes, how were you doing that for? This should be knocking you out. So they just keep hitting it. Stop hitting me on the head. But it doesn't, I can't imagine, it's another one of those myths, like we discovered the silencer on a gun doesn't actually silence the bullet. It's a Hollywood myth. It doesn't make it go, it's still quite a loud bang. It's just a little bit quieter. And that thing of knocking someone on the back of the head doesn't knock them out.
Tell you what else you can't do with guns, so don't try it. That thing where you've got a gun in each hand and you piang, piang, piang. You can't do that. You need to hold it steady. You won't be hitting anything on target if you do that.
Oh, there we go. I just...
gun tips.
I don't... Yes, exactly.
Talking of knocking out, did you see that couple who knocked each other out in a pub garden practising for their wedding dance?
No.
Yeah, he went for the Dirty Dancing lift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they ended up...
They're both knocked out?
Yeah.
I've never been knocked out. I've fainted once.
I fainted.
Fainted once after a very, very heavy night. Wow, what a night. What a night. And I went to open the curtains. And suddenly I'm lying on the floor looking up at the curtains going, why am I lying? Oh, I must have fainted.
Did you not remember the sensation of going into the faint?
I felt a bit lightheaded, but then suddenly I was on the floor looking, I fainted.
I had the sensation of the blackness closing in.
No.
And out.
Didn't have that. Did not have that. I just was on the floor looking up going, I'm on the floor. Oh, I fainted. Brilliant. It's the only time. I'd love to faint. I'd love it. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Some people on Twitter saying they would like to hear an hour-long call from Nigel from Mason. I tell you what, mate, give us your phone number. We'll pass it on to him, and you can endure it.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making it talk.
Mid-mornings with Julia Hartley-Brewer. Join the titanium lady of Talk Radio for 3 hours of provocative discussion, intelligent analysis and fearless comment.
Mid-mornings with me, Julia Hartley-Brewer. Your one-stop shop for debate about the stories that everyone's talking about. No nonsense, no prisoners, no substitutes.
Get both barrels from Judge Julius.
Julia Hartley-Brewer, this morning from 10.
On your all-new speech station, Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. I like this. I like it when sad, lonely men do things with their houses and gardens that make their houses completely unsellable. This guy's turned his back garden into a train station.
Fair enough.
Train fan Stuart Searle, good for him. Stuart Searle found building a replica station. That's his back garden. It's good, isn't it? Found building a replica station with a 60-foot platform in his back garden was just the ticket to house his huge collection of rail memorabilia. And not content with just one station... You're joking. Hang on a minute. Stuart 63 decided to add an underground one too. Oh, it's next door. I don't think it's actually underground. We'll get to that.
What
in
does his
a minute.
wife think about it?
We'll find out. Good evening, Gareth.
Hello, good evening, Ian. How are you?
Good, thank you, Gareth.
Brilliant. Just on the last point now about building underground stations when you're of a certain age, isn't that dangerous?
I don't know if he's dug underground. We'll find out. But yeah, I mean, tunneling. There's a big.
I'm a little bit scared about people who build things.
There was a big fashion about. Yeah, I'm talking. There was a big fashion about 10, 15 years ago for everyone to get a basement dug under their house and turn it into a cinema room or something like that. And I bet there's loads of houses now that have collapsed in on themselves.
Is that the fashion? I can't remember that.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Loads of people were getting it done. Loads of people, because they'd done the loft conversions. So loft conversions was quite 90s, and then early 21st century, everyone was digging under their houses, and they were. I'm still talking.
Okay.
What is wrong with you? Have you never had a
What's wrong with me?
Have you never?
Lots of conversations.
Right. Well, then, shut up.
It's very difficult for me to do that, Ian.
Oh, then go and phone another radio show.
There are no other radio shows.
Exactly. So if you want to be part of this one, shut up and let me speak.
Please go ahead, caller.
What have you called in for?
There is literally nothing that I've called in for at all, apart.
Okay, well then let's just make it easier for everyone. Good evening, Sam.
Hi, Ian. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Sam. What you got for us?
Well, I've come in late in the day. I've come in about 10 minutes ago.
Well done.
I spent an evening with my girlfriend,
Yeah.
and I caught you when you're on about everyone being short. And me and my girlfriend had never, ever had a proper argument, and tonight I was snapping at her for nothing. So I don't know if you've been discussing that earlier in the night, and I've missed something, but there's something going on. Obviously it's not my fault.
Well, obviously not. But no, I've got into about 3 or 4 road rage incidents today with pedestrians. Catherine's had some similar experiences. The vibe between James Whale and Ash was very, very dark. I didn't really want to come in and sit in the studio because it was quite tense. And it seems to be that everyone's got a bit of a cobble. I wonder if it is as simple as the weather. What was your argument about, Sam? Do you remember?
Well, first off, there is a weather thing, because I remember I needed to open the window. It was very stuffy. So there's that element.
Yes.
But it wasn't about anything. It was just like I was picking on, nitpicking, just nothing. I can't even remember what it was about. It was nothing.
Nothing.
And it's like, as I say, we've been going out now 8 months plus. We've never had any proper argument.
You emphasise strange words.
Sorry.
No, I like it. It's passion. We've not had any passion this evening.
Just.
Neither of you, by the sound of it.
Sorry?
I'm making silly jokes. Go on.
I may have had a couple of small sherries, just so we're aware of that.
Good for you. Well done.
Okay. But yeah, like nothing. It was about absolutely nothing, to the degree that I can't remember it. But it's like we clashed like 3 times tonight, and we don't clash. So
Do you live together?
No.
So you've gone home now?
She was at mine, and she's gone home.
Have you made peace with her?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was about nothing. There was nothing, to, like, hold any kind of grudge about. It's just, it kind of, I'd say, obviously, I say it ironically that it's not my fault, but it just sort of coincided when I came on listening to your show just after all this had happened, and you were on about everyone else is being short with everyone.
Yeah, and I feel a bit arsey now. Arsey with Gareth, although he was annoying. I'm gritting my teeth for the next 22 minutes of the show, thinking, just want this to blooming well end. Just want it to end. I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is. I mean, I know there's a thunderstorm coming. There's a thunderstorm on its way, but it's not going to come until next week. I can't take any more days. I can't take, 4 or 5 more days of this nonsense.
No, that would be insane.
How did you leave it with your girlfriend? Are you friends again?
Oh, yeah. No, as I say, it was about nothing. But what I was trying to get at with you is, had you been talking about this, like, through the show, or did this just coincide with...
I think it just coincided with you turning on the radio. I think...
Don't wind him up. He's not in the mood.
Someone just says you sound like Christopher Walken when you speak. That's it, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
I'll take that.
Take that. It's a good thing. Sam, thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it. Strange vibe. Anyway, back to this guy who's built the train station. Among the items on display are a £5,000 chocolate vending machine, old school aluminium adverts, and more than 1,500 old station signs. I wonder if he got some railway sleepers from a bloke called Buzz Beckers. There's a reference for the geeks. Huh? You get that? You got that one, guys? Mr. Searle worked on railways for most of his life and has been buying memorabilia for almost 50 years. See, I can't knock this because I collect monkey stuff, and I've got a room full of monkey stuff. And the dream when the kids move out, then one of their rooms is going to be, if I'm still living there, it's going to be turned into a music hall of fame. You know, it's going to be turned into the Monkeys Pad.
I was going to say, would you like to turn it into their base?
Oh, it'd be the Monkeys Pad. Oh, totally. Totally. Mr. Searle, his growing collection meant he and his wife Dawn had to move house 3 times in order to store the items. He decided to build a replica train station to store and display his pieces. But when his collection of tube signs reached 105, he decided to create an adjoining London Underground station. This guy's he's a legend. He's a legend. And good for her as well.
Her?
Yeah, for understanding and going, yeah, go on. She's probably seeing another man while he's out.
Keeping busy, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure she's not. Mr. Searle of Hastings, East Sussex said, I've never worked... can we get this guy on the show tomorrow as well? I like this. Stuart Searle. Stuart, S-T-U-A, Searle, S-E-A-R-L-E. I like this. This is a nice story, and I hats off to him. Mr. Searle of Hastings, East Sussex said, I've never worked out much I've spent on everything. I don't want to. I'd frighten myself. Oh, brother, I'm there with you. Oh, man. I can't add up my stuff. I bought one single that cost $600 and an album that cost $600. I don't even want to start adding up everything else. There's no longer a limit to how much I'll spend. The most I've ever spent is $5 grand on a chocolate machine, but I've never put chocolate in it. The most expensive part was definitely bringing everything together and building the stations. Here we go. Here are some stats, guys. Listen to this. This is in this bloke's back garden. The railway station is 60 feet of platform with an adjoining 30-foot refreshment room. Just behind that is the underground station, which is 50 feet long, with the first 20 feet being curved, tiled walls to mimic those of the London Underground station. He added, it all started because I wanted somewhere to house my collection. It only felt right to make a railway station. I started collecting when I was 14. I can never imagine myself stopping. Oh, look at this. He won't stop there. He also now plans to build a cinema for his large collection of film posters. I love that. I love that. That is absolutely brilliant.
If you can afford to do it, it's no one else's business.
10 years ago, I would have laughed at him for being a sad case, and now I'm going, well done you, mate, in a miserable, crappy world where everyone's mean and snarky. This is fantastic. And also, it looks brilliant. It doesn't look like some pony thing that he's just knocked up over a couple of weekends with his mate. It's built out of bricks. You know, it's proper. It's absolutely proper. I love that. Let's see if we can get him on the show tomorrow, because I'd love to talk to him. I think that's genius. Dear listener, another 15 minutes or so of the show. Why don't you give us a call? 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
We are Talk.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
Once upon a time, there was a magical place where you could hear tall tales of beastly boys, ghastly girls, and really awful adults. Story Hour with David Walliams on Talk Radio in association with HarperCollins Children's Books. Every Sunday afternoon from 3. Join Britain's best-selling storyteller as he reads from a selection of his brilliant children's books.
Goodbye, ranky-danky rhubarb. Good riddance.
Story Hour with David Walliams on Talk Radio in association with HarperCollins Children's Books.
I'm a dead man.
Tim, Mutchlin Wolf, what's happened?
The party got out of hand. There's claret everywhere. The carpet, the sofa. My parents are going to kill me.
You're not dead yet, Tim. Your parents have 5-star de facto rated direct line Home Plus insurance.
What does that mean?
It means they're covered and the wolves just saved your bacon. Although I'd still make a quick getaway if I were you.
Why?
You're 31, Tim. It's time to fly the nest.
Cover your home with Direct Line's 5-star de facto rated Home Plus insurance. Search Direct Line Home Plus. Cover and limits apply. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
And gently pull away. Very good, Miss Riley. Now, continue at this speed, and when I tap my clipboard on the dashboard, I want you to brake immediately in a controlled manner. Oh, excellent. Lovely bit of braking.
The Goodyear Eagle F1 Asymmetric 3, helping you stop short on both dry and wet roads. Visit goodyear.co.uk to find your local dealer. Goodyear.
Made to feel good.
Now, Miss Riley, let's see a three-point turn.
Greetings, Earthlings. We come in peace. We wish to communicate with your leader.
I'm Howard Hughes. Join me this Sunday night from 10 for a trip into the outer limits.
Untwist the lid on Talk Radio's specimen jar of the psychic, the supernatural, and the simply unexplainable. The unexplained with Howard Hughes. Sunday night from 10. Earth time. Talk Radio.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
David Badcock, you've made a terrible mistake by befriending him on Twitter, Facebook, because he's just going to send you sexually charged private messages.
Well, right now he's saying we're best friends, and he sent me a gif of a man and a woman sucking out the same bottle.
Yeah, there we go.
And so I wrote back, "Good night, David." He's written back, "Good night, Kathleen."
Hey. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, her, Catherine Boyle. Sam is on the other side of the glass, taking your phone calls. This is a phone-in show, sadly, unlike any other phone-in show in the country, nay, the world. And I say sadly because I would love it. I would love to be able to, after this, switch on the radio and listen to a show like this. I can't. I get to listen to the two mics, which is great. I love them. I think they're very funny, and I like hearing them shout at each other. Although last night I tried to... I tell you what, I finished it now. The last 5 hours of that Elvis Costello audiobook. It's a slog. I really enjoyed it. But the last 5 hours, he really does disappear up his old jacksie. It's all about him and Burt Bacharach and also his boring TV show that he hosted. When I first hosted Spectacle, it was the executive producers was Elton John and David Furnish. I couldn't have asked for more generous producers. And in fact, Sir Elton John was my first guest on the show.
You sound like Brian Pern.
That's what he sounds like, though, isn't it? It's not a bad Elvis Costello impression. But the last 5 hours, flipping. There's a great bit. There was a great bit, actually, when he's talking about his dad dying, and he chokes up. He chokes up in the reading, talking about his dad dying. But then it just goes on about Burt Bacharach and Grammys and his boring TV show that was boring. And the first guest was Sir Elton John, and I couldn't have asked for a more generous guest. My team and I wrote down some questions, and Elton answered them. It was a really great experience for me, but although I was not well trained in the ways... It also says, this is an actual phrase from the book, although I was not well trained in the ways of television presentation, I think I made a pretty good stab at it. Something like that, doesn't he? It's really pompous. Really pompous. But I mean, I enjoyed it up until the last 5 hours. So the first 13 hours was a gas. The last 5 hours, taking us up to 18 hours, was hard work.
Right, and you know I was listening to the Carrie Fisher Princess Diaries,
Yeah.
right? Brilliant, beautifully done, warm, witty, everything you would hope it would be when it was read by her. Halfway through, she says, and now here are the diaries that I wrote during Star Wars, when she was having this affair with Harrison Ford, which is basically what the whole first half about it is about. This 19-year-old having an affair with Harrison Ford and smoking a lot of weed.
There we go.
And it's evident by her diary entries. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I gave up. It's her daughter reading it, so it's not her voice. And it's... A lot of it's poetry, like really crappy. Poetry. So I gave it probably about 2 hours.
Unless it's by Rupert Holmes, I'm not interested in it. Tomorrow, remind me we're doing this tomorrow. We're going to have a phone-in vote. Should we ban Paul from Stoke Poges?
Oh, why?
Because he sent an email.
No!
He's been sending emails all evening, and I've not opened them. And this one I've opened.
I've had a conversation with Paul, and he gets it, and
No, he doesn't.
I said don't.
So tomorrow night's show, shall I read it?
Go on.
Sorry, Iain, I have to speak again. You idiot, Iain. You ask for callers all the time. And when people phone in and you put people on air, you do not let anyone finish a sentence. You, Iain, have to butt in and talk over everyone. Like what you have to say is God's truth. Let the callers speak and you shut up for 2 minutes. How's your radio show going, Paul? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have one. So tomorrow night, this is straight, right? We're doing it, because we are doing it. Do we ban Paul from Stoke Poges. That is tomorrow night's show, and I'll go wherever way it goes. I'll go because I know that some people. I know that Bob Mortimer listens. Talk about Bob, and Bob really likes Paul from Stoke Poges. But I know a lot of people...
But he doesn't have to read his emails.
No, I know. I don't. It just really annoys me every time. He sent loads of emails all night. I've got no idea what they said. What's he saying here? No, I don't know. Anyway, Paul, you're an arse, mate. You're an absolute bellend. Let's go to John. Evening, John.
How you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, mate. What you got for us?
I missed the first 20 minutes of the show. Last night's show was brilliant.
Thank you very much indeed.
Absolutely superb, and I thought I'd missed the ending of your Pina Colada.
Do you like pina coladas?
It's one of my favourite songs.
do you like the drink?
Not really.
Oh, well, you should. It is a delicious booze.
I don't think I've tasted it for years.
Yeah, I got well into it once. I got into a tropical island that Brian Molko of Placebo recommended I go to. Those are the days, guys. Those were the days when Brian Molko was recommending islands for me to travel to. Long since gone. We finished this song off today, and we've established that both people in that relationship really do need a stern talking to.
So what was it, the beginning of the show?
Yeah, you missed it. Go and listen again. Go and listen again, and you'll hear it.
I think you'll find the resolution satisfactory.
Yes.
I was wondering, how you finished it. What do you...
We established that both the man and the woman were idiots, and that that relationship probably didn't last longer than that bunk up they had in the Cape.
And while it's very easy to pin all the blame on him because he answered it, she was the one that started it by putting the advert out in the first place.
Yes.
I thought it was a happy ending.
Well, there was in that sense, but there wasn't in the traditional sense. We don't think they lived happily ever after. But here's the thing: in August, the composer and the singer of that song, Rupert Holmes, is coming on this show, so we can ask him what happened to that couple afterwards.
Oh, brilliant!
That's what
he's never done anything else, has he?
Well,
he has.
No, the thing is, he has. He's written for movies, music for movies. He's written for TV. He's the guy. Honestly,
musicals.
He's written musicals. That song is like an albatross around his neck. It bought him houses and brought him fame, but it's the thing that everyone remembers. But he's done loads, actually.
The reason he can't come on is that he's in his 70s now, and he's still working to deadlines.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, I've heard that song loads of times. I've seen him sing it, and obviously on telly. Always thought it was a really cheesy song. And then a few years ago, I remember I hired a car, and much better than my old banger. You know, you get in the car and it's got a really good sounding stereo. Yeah. Like that. And that song's come on, and for the first time ever in my life, I actually listened to all the words. Yeah. And I get to the ending, and then the DJ just kept quiet for a little while, and he said, "Never before has so much been said in 3 minutes." That's so true.
It's profound, man.
And when we're over at parties and people are trying to put on records and putting all stuff on, I'll always stick down and say, "Just listen to this song. What are you putting this crap on?"
John,
you... listen to it. It's brilliant.
Mate, I'm so glad. Well, yesterday's show is retrospectively dedicated to you.
Thank you.
You own yesterday's show. Do with it what you want, John, but it belongs to you, buddy. Okay?
I was going to ring in, but you had your two sort of famous callers in there.
What,
with
David?
Each other, and I just thought, I've got no chance.
David Badcock babbling on about rubbish.
Yeah.
He annoys the hell out of me, that guy.
He's a lunatic. I beg your pardon.
Hang on a minute. Sam, have you put him through Badcock?
Yes.
Flipping it, mate. Sam, you've got to tell me when you're putting callers through. That is unfair, man.
Who's annoying?
John was saying that you're annoying, David.
Who's the flipping ex-John? Is that John laughing like a hyena? It is, yeah. How you doing? I was all right, but I'm a bit jackaled up now. Well, I would imagine it was low. I don't know, but it was very
What
bizarre.
are you?
It would come in waves.
Are you? Wait a minute. So, what are you saying? What, that they would all kick off when
the tide came in?
The tide came in.
Well, it was.
Or are you talking about periods?
I'm talking about periods. Yeah.
Say periods.
The Crimson Tide.
Say period. Oh no, no, don't. That leaves it. That jokes like that leave a terrible taste in my mouth.
Stop it.
Kyle, say periods.
Periods.
Say periods again.
Periods.
Shout it, periods.
Well, I don't want to shout it.
No, I don't really. It's disgusting. I wish
It's not
they,
disgusting,
wish
it's
they,
nature.
Wish they'd keep it to themselves, banging on about their blooming periods all the blooming time.
Cass is right, it's perfect natural. But no, there was the vicar who used to work with us said it was.
What's the vicar doing knowing about lady prisoners' periods?
Yes.
Confession, they'd come and confess, because it must be a sin being on a period, isn't it? Should be, it's disgusting.
It's the curse, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's Eve's fault.
It really is. That's an unusual thing to phone in with, but I'm glad you did. I've got a cob on, Carl. For no reason, I've got a cob on.
Well, no, that was the thing. I was just suggesting that maybe people get really upset because the people were saying it's more than just female, and people act differently because of the lunar cycle.
Have you got a proper phone, or is this like a phone that to disconnect the call you've got to press a button?
No, I've got real. No.
I really want. Oh, can we do this tomorrow as well? Remind me. I really want. I miss Carl. People slamming the phone down.
I've got a real phone that goes ting.
Okay, well, phone me up on Saturday
Right,
and do
I'll
it.
put the phone
But I'm just. Do you know what I mean, Kyle? I miss doing it, and I miss having it done to me.
Well, I suspect you're going to do it to me shortly.
Well, no. I can't. But I can't. I haven't got the. You know, I can cut you off, and there might be a little sort of blip, but that'll be it. There's no. I can't go. Oh. Up yours, Kyle! Ka-ching! And slam it down, and you wouldn't hear the slamming. I wouldn't get the satisfaction of the slamming. And likewise, if you were to hang up on me now, what you would do is you go, "I'll get stuffed in," and you'd take the phone away, put it in front of you, get your finger and go, yeah, that one, and you'd press a button.
And there might be a tiny click, if anything.
You can't angrily press a button. I want to slam a phone down.
No, you're totally right. It would be like in Howard's Way. People used to bang the phone down.
Yeah.
Go, I've had enough of you. Up yours.
Yeah.
Bang the phone down.
Try and do it. Right. Say you've had it, because we've only got about 30 seconds left, Carl. I want you to do the 21st century equivalent of hanging up on me. Have a go at me and then hang up by pressing that button. Let's see how effective it is.
Oh, okay. You're a toss pot, Iain, and up yours.
Rubbish.
It's pathetic, isn't it?
Rubbish.
Absolutely pathetic. I mean, great language from Carl. Brilliant skill. A little bit too realistic, actually. That was quite... But the effort of it. Get your bloody computer sorted. Listen, it's like it's smoking a fag.
It's really warm.
It's really warm. Why? Dear listener... Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, everybody who called in. It's been one of them shows. Tomorrow night's going to be really, really busy. We're going to vote on Paul from Stoke Poge's future, and we're going to talk about hanging up on people. Ta-ta!